What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 6RH 136. Life and death, reincarnation is endless. We live, they die. Please subscribe automatically. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Boom. The dragon wings covering the sky and the sun slashed fiercely towards Luo Qiye. But at this critical moment, the golden light soared into the sky in vain. Full-body Susanoo rushed forward, opened her huge hands, grabbed it suddenly, and unexpectedly grabbed the dragon wings slash. Yan Calamity Jin didn't feel any surprise, his other dragon wing also came out. This is the dragon wing slash formed by gathering the ancient power of his pterosaur body. Under the double slash, no one can stop it. Can. The golden god of war in front of his eyes actually blinked at him, freed up a hand, and forcibly caught another dragon's wing slashing blow. Boom. The golden god of war grasped the wings of Flame Calamity Jin, and stepped back several steps in succession, only then did he release the power of the wings. However, the golden god of war did not let go of Flame Calamity Jin's wings. Instead, hold on to it. Looking at the posture, it seems that he wants to tear off the wings of the pterosaur with brute force. Roar. Flame Calamity Jin roared, spitting out flames. Hot flames rushed to Susanoo. Almost instantly, the entire golden giant was covered in flames. The reason why Flame Calamity Jin is called Flame Calamity is because his flames come from the special flames of the ancient Protoss Lunaria. The flames he releases are as hot as magma. Even the flame of Logia Mera Mera Fruit 24, in front of it, can only be inferior. But Flame Calamity Jin, who was caught by his wings, suddenly discovered that his scorching high-temperature flame, which was comparable to magma, had no effect on the golden god of war. Although it was a little unexpected, Yan Calamity Jin did not stop at all. His faucet head suddenly raised backwards, and the entire head, including the neck, was elongated and bent like a slingshot. He wants to release the Emperor Diao Zizan he used before at close range. That terrifying shock wave like a laser. No one can hide from such a close-range laser. No one can stop it. However, the moment Yan Calamity Jin bent his head and stretched his neck, Luo Qiye's voice has already sounded, resounding throughout Island 46. Heaven did not give birth to me Luo Qiye, swordsmanship is like a long night. Heaven gave birth to me Luo Qiye, a sword will open the gate of heaven. It was too late and then soon, Luo Qiye slammed a sword, and the gate of heaven suddenly opened wide, and a trace of sky suddenly appeared on the sky, as if the gate of heaven was opened. A majestic and endless sword power poured down from the heavenly gate. Advertisement. Countless swords are commanded. The countless swords and swords below are all contending, breaking free from the hands of the pirates, one after another rushing out, turning into a long river, mighty and mighty, forming a sword that can reach the sky. Come crashing down. This sword cut from the gate of heaven, carrying the supreme power of heaven, pierced towards the fire disaster Jin at a speed like lightning and thunder between lightning and flint. Boom. At this critical moment, Yan Calamity Jin couldn't control that much, he desperately hit with all his strength, and the terrifying shock wave blasted Susanoo head on at close range. The terrifying power quickly melted Susanoo's armor, and then pierced through Susanoo's huge body. However, even though Susanoo's body was pierced through, the hands holding Yan Calamity Jin didn't seem to loosen at all. At this moment, Yan Calamity Jin felt for the first time what is called scalp numbness. What is heartbeat? What is the coming of despair? Boom. Almost at the same time that Firestorm Jin pierced through Susanoo. The sword that fell from the sky pierced through his body. Blood flies. The smell of blood spread instantly. Ah! Flame Calamity Jin let out a scream, the shrill scream pierced the sky, it was deafening, extremely terrifying. That shocking sword composed of thousands of swords, even after piercing through its body, was nailed to the ground fiercely with the body of the pterosaur with terrifying power. Boom. With the power, the ground will be pierced, and the fire disaster Jin will be pierced into the ground by the giant sword. Smoke billows. Flying sand and walking stones. This area of the world was completely destroyed, and countless trees were swept away by the aftermath of the battle, turned into dust, and ceased to exist. The violent vibration made the entire number 46 island seem to be crumbling. But Luo Qiye stepped on the magic knife chinblade and flew into the air. Leaf does not stick to the body. Spotless clothes. What is called ease? Here it is with ease. Wow. The uproar sounded completely. Originally thought that Luo Qiye had exhausted all his strength and exhausted himself to kill the Drought Jack, but he didn't think that Luo Qiye not only didn't look exhausted at all, even in the face of the more terrifying fire disaster Jin, he was still so easy. It's so easy that it doesn't look like fighting the terrifying Deputy Emperor at all. Advertisement. This. Are you kidding me? If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I don't think anyone would believe it's true. This is Luo Qiye's strength. One person fights two major disasters alone, the strongest monster of the new era. Could he already be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with the four emperors? The fifth emperor was born. Red Hair Pirates, a group of two emperors. Grand line, is the sky going to change? Also, Luo Qiye's subordinates haven't made a move yet. You know, those few are also monster-level existences. It would be a great honor for us as pirates to become Luo Qiye's subordinate. Shouts of exclamation and worship continued to ring out. Several supernovas were completely dumbfounded. They were terrified, and couldn't help but feel a burst of fear. Such a battle, they dare not even think about it. Not only Supernova, but Doflamingo, who is 7 warlords of the sea, was stunned for the first time. The eyes under the long and narrow sunglasses were already full of shock and horror. As a friendly partner of the beast's pirates, Doflamingo knows the true strength of Fire Calamity Jin far better than anyone else. It is also clearer how amazing the destructive power of Luo Qiye's sword is. This moment. Congratulations to host, you have successfully pretended to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 12,666 points for pretending to be aggressive, close black lens bracket. At this moment, it was completely cancelled. But it was the embers of flames that had turned into a human form, stepping in and out of the flames. He raised his head and looked at Luo Qiye. Today, the outcome will be decided, life and death will be decided. Even if he had the slightest thought of avenging the drought jack before. Susano has dissipated, there is thick smoke billowing, the sky is full of smoke and dust. Doflamingo has already made up his mind in his heart that he will hide more completely and keep a low profile more thoroughly in the future. He will never offend Luo Qiye, and he will never allow his family to offend Luo Qiye. Luo Qiye looked down at the flame calamity Jin below, his voice was indifferent, as if he was used to life and death, and a god who controlled reincarnation. He continued, the road to perdition is shorter than you can imagine. Open black lens bracket ding, close black lens bracket. Doflamingo, the hero who tried to turn the world upside down, didn't dare to have the slightest thought of being an enemy of Luo Qiye. His true face was revealed, with brown skin, white curly hair, and a handsome face. There was a burning flame behind him, and he walked out of the flames step by step. One of the wings behind him broke off. Amidst the flames, the figure swayed. Suddenly, a flame rushed out of the ground and dispersed all the dust, leaving only the raging fire burning. Forget it. Since you want to die, then I will fulfill you. At this moment, the mask on Yan Calamity Jin's face had already shattered and fell off. Luo Qiye received the system prompt, the corners of his mouth raised slightly, and he looked up at the center of the battle. Birth and death, reincarnation is endless. We live, they die. 137. Don't make mistakes, kneel and kowtow obediently, and then cut off your hands and feet. Advertisement. So arrogant. This is Luo Qiye. He not only speaks arrogantly, looks arrogant, acts high profile, but also has enough capital to make him arrogant. This flame calamity Jin turned out to be so handsome. I didn't expect such a face to be hidden under his mask. This should be the first time flame calamity Jin has shown his true colors. Next, I'm afraid it will be the time for the two sides to really fight to the death. Have you guys forgotten something? Behind Luo Qiye, the blind swordsman hasn't made a move yet. If he makes a move, Yan Calamity Jin might not even be his opponent. It seems that Luo Qiye's 4 subordinates are not simple people. Everyone is a terrifying generation, and Luo Qiye is even more terrifying. I feel that he may become the 5th emperor above this sea. The 5th emperor. Could it be that the Red Hair pirates want 2 emperors in one regiment? Is there another possibility for Luo Qiye to become the 5th emperor of New World? There are more and more pirates gathering on Island 46. There are also constant discussions. Not only supernovas, but also 7 warlords of the sea, and more mysterious powerhouses from the New World are also hiding in the dark to watch the battle. And Morgan's camera phone bug broadcast this scene to all the islands in New World, allowing all major forces to witness all this. You don't seem to realize the seriousness of the problem. Yan Calamity Jin walked out of the flames with a big sword in his hand, his murderous eyes stared at Luo Qiye. When you become the soul of my sword, you will know that your every move today is the result of the death of Luo Qiye. How stupid is it? Luo Qiye looked at Yan Calamity Jin indifferently. It seems understandable for people who are about to die to talk more nonsense. After all, after a while, you will never be able to speak again. Now I can give you a chance to say a few more words. I will send you to hell backquote. It was only now that Yan Calamity Jin realized that Luo Qiye was several dimensions ahead of him in terms of talk. Let's talk with the sword. Swish. Yan Calamity Jin's body was like a cannonball, and he rushed towards Luo Qiye, slashing down with the big sword in his hand. Go to hell. Snort. Luo Qiye snorted coldly, slightly raised the magic knife 1,000 blades in his hand. Instead of retreating, he raised his hand and drew his sword to slash out. Kacha. The moment the two swords slashed together, this earth-shattering slash immediately had purple lightning and flames appearing, as if tearing apart the space, raging in all directions. Sword chi rewinds. The ground was instantly torn apart. Advertisement. Cracks appeared densely like spider webs. Such a terrifying double cut surprised everyone. But at this time, Luo Qiye and Yan Calamity Jin slashed dozens of times in an instant. A series of purple lightning bolts shot out continuously. The flames rage and burn. The sky seemed to be unable to withstand this terrifying slash, and was constantly being torn apart. Sword chi is vertical and horizontal. The ground is completely destroyed. Boom. The two sides cut out a sword again. Yan Calamity Jin was hit, and flew out with blood, but Luo Qiye, on the other hand, stood proudly in place and stood still. His swordsmanship keeps getting stronger. Yan Calamity Jin was shocked. He pressed his wound to prevent the wound from bleeding, and his heart jumped wildly. It seems that I have learned my sword skills. Not only that, Luo Qiye also learned about the flaws in the Flame Calamity Jin sword technique. Are you surprised? Luo Qiye held the magic knife 1,000 blades with a purple sword light in his hand, and approached Yan Calamity Jin step by step. He said proudly, I have not only learned your sword skills, but I have also found flaws. Don't be surprised, I am born with sword skills invincible talent. Invincible kendo talent is invincible. A strange light flashed in Yan Calamity Jin's eyes, blood flowed from the corner of his mouth, and he was a bit more embarrassed on his handsome face. Even Mahawk wouldn't dare to say these words so arrogantly, would he? You have to ask him. Luo Qiye raised a smile on his handsome face. However, I'm afraid you won't have the chance to ask in the future. If this is your last wish, I can consider asking him for you. No need to ask, I will kill you. Flame Calamity Jin rushed towards Luo Qiye again. Boom. During the attack, he suddenly turned into a half-winged dragon form. His strength, defense and destructive power were greatly improved. He swung the big sword in his hand, and swept away Luo Qiye with a shocking slash. As fast as lightning, following the slash, he charged towards Luo Qiye. Luo Qiye is not afraid at all. The magic knife thousand blades in his hand suddenly burst into a shocking light. The Flame Calamity Jin coming towards that attack is one life. Advertisement. This sword is shocking. Horror boundless. Kacha. Yan Calamity Jin's slash was cut off by the magic knife with 1,000 blades. Luo Qiye rushed to Yan Calamity Jin and stabbed out with a sword. This sword carried the sound of wind and thunder and Luo Qiye's determination to kill. Flame Calamity Jin quickly draws his sword to block. Kacha. The great sword in Yan Calamity Jin's hand suddenly couldn't bear the terrifying power, and there was a crisp sound, and cracks appeared on the sword body. This scene made Yan Calamity Jin's scalp tingle. He retreated hundreds of meters in an instant, and quickly retreated at lightning speed. But how could Luo Qiye give him a chance to breathe? Take advantage of the victory. This is how it should be done. Starburst Airflow Slash. In Luo Qiye's hand, the magic knife Qian Ren suddenly made 16 consecutive cuts. Every slash contains terrifying lethality. Flame Calamity Jin blocks again and again. But I feel more and more frightened. What kind of swordsmanship is this Wang Liao Zhao? How has he never heard of it? The last slash of the 16 consecutive slashes directly slashed Yan Calamity Jin into the air again. Blood flew like a waterfall, and Yan Calamity Jin's body was full of dense, shocking mouths. What kind of monster is this? Flame Calamity Jin was injured, and turned into a pterosaur while flying upside down. The dragon's wings vibrated, and he flew into the air. If it wasn't for his quick response just now, I am afraid that Luo Qiye will be beheaded on the spot. Since you are so kind, why are you running away? Luo Qiye looked at Yan Calamity Jin flying into the midair, the corners of his mouth raised, his voice was like thunder, penetrating everything, reaching everyone's ears. Yan Zujin, I advise you not to make mistakes, kneel and kowtow obediently, and then cut off your arms and legs, maybe your life can be spared, if not, you will kill all beasts pirates. 138. Above the Four Emperors. Blackbeard. The big era begins. Advertisement. This, I am afraid that only Luo Qiye can say the arrogant words like before. However, he has such arrogant capital, and the strength and confidence to make him arrogant. Looking at the entire Grand Line, I can't find another person as arrogant as Luo Qiye, nor can I find another monster like him. You're clearly in your teens, but every word you say is so domineering. The future must be the king. Luo Qiye, who looks like the Four Emperors, gives me the feeling that he is above the Four Emperors. Unbelievable existence. Whether it is a pirate from the New World, a pirate that belongs to the first half of the Grand Line, or a supernova, at this moment, everyone is shocked by Luo Qiye's words. Represents domineering. Represents arrogance. Represents invincibility. So where? Doflamingo couldn't stop laughing wildly. He looked at Luo Qiye from a distance, and his original surprise turned into a meaningful laugh. It's interesting, maybe we can become our biggest partner in the future. This moment, he decided to defect. As a businessman, it is only natural to seek advantages and avoid disadvantages. Only, he doesn't know what Luo Qiye thinks. 960. If Doflamingo knew it, he would definitely not stay for one more point. Wouldn't think so. Not far from the sea in front of Marin Vendo Island. Captain. The latest news, Luo Qiye killed the drought, one of the three major disasters of the Four Emperors Beasts Pirates Jack. The Devil Police Chief held an intelligence phone bug, and said in a low voice, this little brat seems to be stealing our limelight, do you want to kill him? No need. Thief ha 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 ha. Blackbeard laughed out loud. He glanced at Ace who was seriously injured and locked in seastone shackles. He grinned and revealed 2 rows of missing front teeth. He laughed and said, Ace, I told you to join us and become our. It's a pity that you don't know how to cherish the opportunity of a partner. Pooh. Ace spat at Blackbeard, a traitor who kills his comrades has no right to say, partners. Thief ha ha ha. Then you may have to pay for this with your life. Blackbeard laughed wildly. He didn't care about the naval headquarters Marlene Fandor in front of him. His voice spread on the sea. Ace no longer speaks. He started from the day he went to sea. You have made the decision to sacrifice your life for freedom. Only, he could never have thought of it. Advertisement. In the future, he will block Akainu's punch for his younger brother. That punch cost his life in vain. Because his younger brother, Luffy, is not a rubber man at all, but a human fruit phantom beast species Nika form fruit. Lava fruit is the upper rank of Mara fruit, and the Konica fruit is definitely the upper rank among the upper ranks. How could Nika, the sun god, be killed by magma? Blackbeard's pirate ship keeps approaching the port of Marine Vander. And the Marines stationed at the headquarters have already discovered them. Almost immediately, the cannons arranged above the port aimed at the coming Blackbeard pirates. Alert, alert, alert. There are pirates invading. There are pirates invading the headquarters port. Sirens sounded throughout Marin Fandor. Soon, Marines are fully armed and appear in front of the port. Who are you? Dare to trespass on naval headquarters? Blackbeard pirates. Finally someone recognized Blackbeard's them. But, no one dares to act rashly. Because, together with Sengoku, naval headquarters' supreme combat power has been transferred to the Holy Land Mariajoy. At this time, naval headquarters is just an empty shell. Thief, ha 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 ha. Blackbeard didn't know this yet. He laughed maniacally, and said with a big laugh, I'm here to give you naval headquarters a big gift. Let your marshal come out. He will love this great gift from me. Blackbeard's laughter resounds through naval headquarters. The CEBC naval headquarters at the front port are looking at each other in dismay. The sailors in the rear have already called Sengoku. Urgent report. This is an emergency. Yo, it turned out to be Marshal Teach. At this moment, Kizaru, who had completed the mission, flew over from the sky. He looked at the Blackbeard pirates with an exaggerated expression on his face. What kind of gift do you plan to give? Headquarters Admiral. Advertisement. Kizaru. Several members around Blackbeard stood on end. The pressure from the Admiral of Headquarters made them tremble with fear and dare not do anything wrong. I want to meet Sengoku. Blackbeard stopped laughing and said in a deep voice. Above the red line, Sengoku, who has driven all the revolutionary army away, is being reprimanded by the celestial dragons. Because of the death of Saint Charles Rose, the original chaotic Mariajoy fell into panic again. Dorag and the others have already taken away the big bear. Certainly, this one has the help of Luo Qiye. You have 3 days to find the murderer and bring the murderer to me. I will cut him into pieces with my own hands. Skin cramps. Saint Roswald roared loudly, otherwise, everyone will be buried with my son. Bolu Bolu. At this time, the emergency contact phone bug in Sengoku's arms rang. He looked up at 5 elders, and got permission before answering the phone. What? Blackbeard invades Marlene Vander. After hanging up the phone, Sengoku explained the situation, and after getting permission from 5 elders, he waved his hand, hurry back to the headquarters. Sengoku led the naval headquarters with many supreme combat powers and set off towards Marlene Vander. At this time, Staff Officer Crane suddenly said, according to the information, Luo Qiye started a great battle with many pirates in the Sabayati archipelago. According to the information, the Mammoth Jack, one of the big signs of the beast's pirates, has been beheaded by him. Hiss. Hearing this news, many elite forces from naval headquarters took a deep breath. Staff Officer Crane continued, Jin, the leader of the beast's pirates, is fighting Luo Qiye at this time, and according to the information, Luo Qiye has already gained the absolute upper hand. In addition. Speaking of this, Staff Officer Crane paused. Sengoku looked up slightly, looking at her. Staff Suru didn't continue to speak, but walked up to Sengoku and said in a low voice, the intelligence officers saw Gion, but when they tried to contact her, there was no response. Sengoku. What's the meaning? Could it be that Momosuke, Naval Headquarters candidate admiral, was instigated? Sengoku looked horrified. Don't tell me it's true. He'd love to turn around and go to Marlene Vando now. But Blackbeard is in Naval Headquarters again. The most urgent thing now is to go back to the headquarters and see what Blackbeard wants to do. Staff Crane, please personally lead the team to the Sabayati archipelago. Sengoku said in a deep voice, the old man must go back to the headquarters. Yes. 139. Mere grains of sand, not half as good as me. Advertisement. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you succeeded in pretending to be aggressive, and you got plus 13,145 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. The system prompt sounded in Luo Qiye's mind, and he smiled slightly. This pretentious point is getting higher and higher. There must be more and more people paying attention. There should be many more people coming. Luo Qiye is more like a confident hunter at this time. Everything is under control. He raised his head slightly, looked at the fire disaster in midair, and laughed loudly. Why, even the courage to fight me is not enough. Is it gone? Do you think I'm afraid? Flame Calamity Jin let out a long roar. The voice echoed continuously between the sky and the earth, filling him with anger. Today, even if I sink this island, I will kill you. Scary and high temperature flames appeared on the pterosaur that covered the sky and the sun in Flame Calamity Jin. As soon as the flames appeared, the surrounding space seemed to be distorted and deformed by burning. The flames belonging to the ancient Protoss kept tumbling, like the sun falling, and the horror was boundless. It was just a heat wave, and between the tumbling, the temperature of the entire island rose rapidly by an unknown number of degrees. The terrifying coercion spread from the sky. The pirates below were shocked one by one. Not good. Flame Calamity Jin is gone. This is trying to destroy the entire island. Run away. The pirates below were terrified and fled away one by one. They were all sweating profusely from the heat. Terrible high temperature enveloped the entire island. Even the extremely inflated supernovas couldn't help being terrified at this time. Each of them felt their scalps tingling, and fled from Island 46 with horror. Little Lord. All the cadres of the Don Quixote family also spoke one after another. There are also some products that can't bear the terrible high temperature. The terrifying flames in the sky may be enough to destroy the entire island. No need. Doflamingo raised his hand, signaling to everyone to be calm and not to worry. On the other side, Pluton Rayleigh frowned slightly, and looked up at Flame Calamity Jin in the sky. As expected of an ancient race, it was born with a race-specific flame, and its temperature is not weaker than that of magma. I don't know if that kid named Luo Qiye can withstand this blow. Shaki spoke neither happy nor sad. She and Rayleigh were both standing on a high ground at this time. There are more people coming. Rayleigh turned his head slightly and looked towards the port. Is it just that powerful? At the same time, Luo Qiye's voice sounded again. He looked at the sun-like flames in the sky, with a haughty expression on his face. If your strength is limited to this, next year's today will be your death day. Quote. Boom. Fire Calamity Jin no more words. With the body of a pterosaur, he carried a flaming grinding disc like the sun, and smashed fiercely towards Luo Qiye. Qiye. Fujitora suddenly opened his mouth with a smile. Indicate whether you need to do it yourself. Luo Qiye raised his hand to stop. No problem. The roar kept ringing, falling like a real sun. Advertisement. The terrifying whistling sound resounded between heaven and earth. The scorching high temperature melted the space, distorting and deforming the sky above the entire island, and the terrifying power visible to the naked eye shrouded the entire island. But Luo Qiye did not retreat but advanced. Holding the magic knife with thousands of blades in his hand, he rushed forward against the roaring sun. This moment, the fleeing pirates couldn't help but look up at the sky. In their eyes, this flame that destroys everything is absolutely irresistible. However, the moment they raised their eyes, but he saw Luo Qiye charging forward with a sword. It was like a sword piercing the sky. One sword. Pierce the sun. With just one sword strike, all the flames like the falling sun can be pierced through. Boom. It was too late to say it, and then it was too late. The terrifying flames, after being pierced, scattered, like a waterfall of flames, hanging down from the sky, pouring down. Like the sun exploding, endless flames are pouring from the sky. Run away. This moment, all the pirates below went crazy and fled crazily. Puff puff puff. Some unlucky ones were directly hit by the flames and burned on the spot. No matter how much he struggled and desperately tried to extinguish the flames, it was still useless. Burned alive, and some are even more unlucky, they are directly covered by huge flames, and the whole person becomes a burning man. Die instantly. This. Just to watch the fun. Pirates panicked. They dare not watch the battle. This terrifying battle is just the aftermath, and they will pay their lives for it. Boom boom boom. The flame waterfall hangs upside down above the ground. It exploded like a nuclear bomb. The earth was pierced directly. No idea how much ground was sunk. Countless earth and rocks flew upside down. The sky is falling. The trees and forests turned into a sea of flames and were completely burned. Even the ground was burnt to charred black. The entire huge number 46 island was reduced to a fiery hell in an instant, and the ground continued to collapse, and the entire island was crumbling. Sky. Luo Qiye broke through the flames of the Lunaria family with a sword, and then quickly slashed out with a volley. Asking for flowers. This sword cuts out. The magic knife thousand blade quickly blooms purple light. Advertisement. The purple light competes with the flames of the Lunaria family. More dazzling, more frightening. Puff. Luo Qiye pierced the wings of Flame Calamity Jin with one sword. And the dragon claws of Flame Calamity Jin also landed on Luo Qiye's shoulder fiercely. This is a self-mutilating reckless play that is so vicious as ultimate. Both sides kill 1,000 enemies and lose 800. Be fearless. Whoever coaxes him will die. Go to hell. Flame Calamity Jin's other dragon claw grabbed Luo Qiye's other shoulder. Terrifying armament Haki, entwining his dragon claws completely. The power of the ancient species Pteranodon is completely awakened, and the terrifying and boundless tearing force is released instantly. Embers of fire. It's about to kill Luo Qiye. 0. To tear Luo Qiye alive with the strongest and most brutal means. Extremely domineering. Extremely cruel. However, just before Yan Calamity Jin erupted with terrifying power, his heart was beating wildly, and a crisis of death was born in his heart. This feeling of being infinitely close to death had never occurred to him even when he was caught by the world government. Pass. But I felt it in Luo Qiye. Too late. Fast then. Just when Yan Calamity Jin grabbed Luo Qiye fiercely with his claws and unleashed all his strength, at this critical moment. Kacha, a majestic and incomparably frozen power was quickly released from Luo Qiye's body. Moko Potmo. The terrifying power of freezing appears in an instant, enveloping the flames and Jin's body in an instant, freezing the world, no matter it is space or time, it is frozen in an instant at this moment. And the Flame Calamity Jin instantly turned into a frozen mausoleum. Let him be an ancient Protoss. Let him control the high-temperature flames like magma. Let him be strong. Even after getting close to Luo Qiye, he couldn't stop the frozen power of this Moko Botmo. Almost. It should be over. Luo Qiye's voice resounded, spread throughout Island 46, and resounded through the sky and the earth. Stop it. In Luo Qiye's hand, the magic knife thousand blades suddenly exerted force. The magic knife Shinran, which was originally stabbed in the wings of Flame Calamity Jin, slashed forward, his entire wings were cut off, and the frozen wings fell straight down. Stop. A roar sounded from the other side. How could Luo Qiye stop? He raised the magic knife thousand blades in his hand, and slashed at the head of Yan Calamity Jin, who was frozen into a mausoleum. It's just a grain of sand, not half as good as me. 140. It caused a sensation in the entire 100 Beasts pirate corps. Open black lens bracket 4/5 for subscription close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Gotcha. The moment Luo Qiye's second sword strikes. The flaming calamity that had been frozen into a mausoleum suddenly shattered the ice. At this moment, he only felt his scalp numb and his heart beating. At this time, he didn't realize that he had broken a wing. The shadow of the shadow hangs over its head. Observation Haki and Armament Haki are fully activated instantly. Yan Calamity Jin's head tilted, and his body fell even more rapidly. Try to dodge this sword. However, Luo Qiye's Observation Haki has already foreseen all this. The moment the Flame Calamity Jin dodge evaded, the magic knife thousand blades suddenly disintegrated, countless fragments went down, and the blade quickly extended, becoming 40 meters long. PFF'd. Even though Yan Calamity Jin dodged a distance of 39 meters ahead of time, the 40-meter-long blade still fell on Yan Calamity Jin with ease. 770. But, at the most dangerous moment, Flame Calamity Jin forcibly blocked his head with his other wing, saved his head, but lost his wings. This moment, a pair of wings of Flame Calamity Jin had a terrifying wound, and the white bones were exposed, and the terrifying blood was like a waterfall, spilling from the sky. And the severed wings, accompanied by Yan Calamity Jin, fell from the sky. Boom. A bottomless hole was blasted out on the ground, violent vibrations were generated, and smoke and dust billowed up. The many pirates who fled to the distance couldn't help but look back again. When they saw that Flame Calamity Jin had all its wings cut off, everyone was terrified. Fear spreads rapidly in every pirate's heart. This is real horror. Yan Calamity Jin's wings were cut off by Luo Qiye. The pterosaurs of the ancient species lost their wings. Can they still be called pterosaurs? This is Luo Qiye's method. Consecutive war against beasts pirates, 2 major disasters. Simply not human. Monster. He's a living monster. It's really like what he said, just a grain of sand, not half as good as him. That's the first of the 3 major signs of the 4 Emperor's beasts pirates, Flame Calamity Jin. I can't even imagine how strong Luo Qiye is. Anyway, it's an existence that you and I can't afford to provoke, the real terror. Who was yelling just now? A big shot is coming. It seems. Coming. Amidst the exclamation, a roar sounded. Follow. Advertisement. A person with Zone Fruit ability has rushed to Island 46 from the Sabayati Archipelago port. Thousands of Zone Fruit capable users, led by a burly pirate, rushed to attack. Mighty. Smoke and dust skyrocketed. Earth shakes. The momentum is raging. This is the Legion of Beasts Pirates Zone. Another of the 3 major disasters. Plague Quinn. Hiss. Many pirates who had already fled to the distance gasped when they saw the army pressing down on them. The battle is totally messed up. This moment, everyone who saw the Beasts Pirates army could not stop their scalps from tingling and their hearts trembling with fear. Coming. More than them. Pluton Rayleigh twisted a flagon, muttering to himself. His observation Haki is far superior to others, able to see farther people and objects. Unexpectedly, in order to deal with a Luo Qiye, the Beasts Pirates actually dispatched 3 major disasters. Doflamingo couldn't help being surprised when he saw Plague Quinn arrive. The eyes hidden under the long and narrow sunglasses were shining with a strange color unknown to outsiders. He is hesitating. Hesitation in the end how to choose. Dover, we should go. Torrebel whispered, this war is completely beyond the scope of our participation. At this point in the battle, it's not something they can participate in. Involved in battle together, no one can predict the consequences. Unforeseen outcome, it's not in Doflamingo's character, nor in Doflamingo's interest. The key is, Luo Qiye has not revealed his final trump card yet, no one knows his true strength. Also, several subordinates of Luo Qiye, from the beginning to the end, have not been eliminated. Blind Swordsman. Naval Headquarters Alternate Admiral Momosugi. Advertisement. CPO Queen of the Pleasure District Stussy. And that goofy hunk of Whitebeard with a naginata. Even the Don Quixote family, who occupy the New World and eat black and white, dare not provoke such a group of people so easily. Brother. When Plague Quinn arrived on the battlefield, he happened to see Plague Jin having his wings chopped off by Luo Qiye and blasted into the ground. Plague Quinn was furious and roared, little brat, today I, the Beast's pirates, will crush you and tear you to pieces. Yeah, Luo Qiye was unmoved. He looked at the Plague Quinn and the mighty army of thousands of Zone Fruit ability users behind him. His voice was cold and arrogant. I can kill the so-called Drought Jack. If you can kill Flame Calamity Jin, you can naturally kill you too, kill all of you. Luo Qiye's voice is penetrating. Spread throughout the island. Coercion everywhere. Hiss. Many Beasts Pirates members subconsciously gasped when they heard what Luo Qiye said. Are you kidding? Captain Jack, was he really killed? No, it's absolutely impossible. How powerful is Captain Jack? How could he be killed by Luo Qiye? Boss Abel, he seems to have fallen into the ground. It's not true what Luo Qiye said, the 2 bosses were killed. Shut up, idiot. Bosses Drought Jack and Flame Jin are so powerful. How amazing are they? How could they be killed? They are late. Never seen that scene. Since 3.7 I don't believe it. JJ. Indeed, no Drought was seen at the scene Jack. If it hadn't been killed, where did Jack go? Some people from the Beast's Pirates ran to the underground cave where the smoke was billowing, trying to find the disaster smoke. Ahem. At this moment, Yan Calamity Jin, who was beaten back into human form, rushed out from the hole in the ground. He at this time. The arms are gone. On the two shoulders, the blood was congealed with mud, and the flesh was turned out, shocking, split. After jumping out, Yan Calamity Jin seemed to have exhausted his last bit of strength, and he staggered and fell to the ground. In this way, Flame Calamity Jin, who lost his arms, appeared in front of the Beast's Pirates army, which immediately caused a sensation in the entire Beast's Pirates army. 141. No matter who cuts it open and peels it, it's just a lump of meat. Open black lens bracket 5/5 full order close black lens bracket. Advertisement. This. Captain Abel, are you kidding me? It's not true. Who can tell me, is this true? Master Abel, how could he be defeated? Just now, that brat named Luo Qiye said. Mr. Jack, he is dead. This moment, thousands of Beast's Pirates army, all the members are in an uproar. The invincible flame Jin in their eyes, and the drought Jack in their hearts are just like the faith in their hearts, but at this moment, the faith in their hearts collapsed. It's like a tall building collapsing. One time, the morale of the entire Beast's Pirates is shaken. Master Jack, is that the body of Master Jack mutilated? Suddenly, someone found the body cut in half. That's Drought Jack's body. Not only was it cut in half, but it was also shattered, the bones were shattered, and there was no piece of flesh intact. This is impossible. This is absolutely impossible. This is not true. How can this be true? Master Jack, he is really dead. This is really Jack's body. The look of horror is on the faces of thousands of pirates throughout the Beast's Pirates. Once upon a time, they scanned many New World histories. Once upon a time, they were rampant in New World, no one could stop them, let alone dare to stop them. And now, and in front of you, their Jack boss, with incomplete bones, can't die anymore. Death is nothing short of tragic. It's unbearable to look straight at. Don't even dare to look directly. How do you make them believe this? Not only the drought, Jack died, but the most invincible flame in their hearts, Jin, also lost his arms. This is the strongest existence under Captain Kaido in their hearts. Advertisement. 2. Now that I have lost my arms, I have completely lost my fighting power. Can you survive? It's all a question. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have successfully pretended to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 20,520 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. At the same time, Luo Qiye received a notification from the system. Finally, break through 20,000 pretense points at once. Sure enough, the army of Beast's Pirates arrived, providing myself with more points of pretense. As the saying goes, giving a rose to someone leaves a lingering fragrance in your hand. No, it should be. Throw me a peach and give me a plum. Reciprocity. Thanks to them. At least give them a hand. You don't have to be sad, don't be sad, and don't have to feel sad. Luo Qiye stood proudly in midair. He looked down at the army of thousands of Beast's Pirates below, and kindly said, as the saying goes, help others and be kind to others. I am a person who is willing to do good. If you want to be with your Jack if the boss is reunited, or if you want to be with Jin, I can help you. Fujitora Yishao and others have already arrived behind Luo Qiye. Hearing Luo Qiye's words at this time, he almost couldn't hold back. And the many pirates of the Beast's Pirates in front were all furious when they heard Luo Qiye's words. Humiliation. When these words fell into their ears, it became Kai Guguo's humiliation. And still so rampant, defiant, humiliating that they don't care about the Beast's Pirates at all. Damn brat. Damn it. Kill him. They are nothing more than 5 people, we can drown them in an instant. Chop them into pieces of meat and crush their bones. Do the red hair pirates want to go to war with us? With red hair gone, Luo Qiye is the only one, even if he has the ability to reach the sky, we will kill him today. Revenge for Master Jack. Revenge for Lord Jin. Revenge. Revenge. Luo Qiye's words completely angered everyone in the Beast's Pirates. Thousands of zone legions were now in great momentum, raising their weapons high and shouting for revenge. The crowd is buzzing. The sound of revenge is deafening. Advertisement. Someone even took the lead in stomping their feet, and thousands of pirates shook at once, causing the ground to shake continuously, and the momentum became more and more powerful. Let this crumbling island fall into shock again. Even Morgans and his party, who were photographed with a camera phone bug in the distance, were so frightened that their faces turned blue. They had never retreated half a step before, and they were really dedicated to reporting the news with their lives, but they couldn't help but want to retreat. The momentum of the Beast's Pirates is amazing. Like a torrent of steel that can smash everything. No one dares to face it head on. However, I sent you to see Jack. Not only do you not appreciate me, you don't know how to repay me, and you even want to attack me. Luo Qiye was not afraid at all. He raised his head to the sky and roared. His voice was heroic, shaking the wilderness, and he suppressed the mighty army of Beast's Pirates with his voice. It really is a group of chickens and dogs. Sword. The clanging sound resounded. Swish swish swish. The swords in the hands of the thousands of Beast's Pirates below Luo Qiye were all sucked away, and the fragments of the swords that were used before also flew upside down into the air. The mighty, densely packed swords, accompanied by Luo Qiye's sword strike, all floated above the midair. A long river of swords is formed in an instant. Point directly below the army of Beast's Pirates. This moment, Luo Qiye is one husband, 10,000 husbands can't open it. Only one person. Hold back the Beast's Pirates army. No one dares to step forward. Don't be afraid of 397 him. Plague Quinn's burly body over 6 meters tall took a sudden step forward, and there was a loud bang on the ground, waking up thousands of beasts pirates corps behind him. His voice was like a bell, fierce and domineering. You are just at the end of your strength now, and the strength you pretended to be will be completely shattered in my hands. As expected of Plague Quinn with a bounty of 1.32 billion berry. Is it? Luo Qiye looked directly at Pandemic Quinn with lightning-like eyes. If you take another step forward, the world will be turned upside down. Roar. Plague Quinn roared and instantly transformed into an animal form. A gigantic monster that covered the sky suddenly appeared. Dragon fruit ancient species Brachiosaurus form. An extremely huge Brachiosaurus appeared, but the front claws of the Brachiosaurus were transformed into mechanical arms, and even the teeth in the mouth were transformed, just like a technological dragon. You don't think I'm the same as that kid Jack, only brute force. The huge mechanical Brachiosaurus opened its mouth, and when the sound came out, the air was shaken and rippled. I am a reformer that even Vegapunk can't match. In this world, I am the most advanced scientist. Quote. Reform Brachiosaurus. Luo Qiye laughed. His laughter was like a wave, overwhelming Quinn. His eyes fell on the Brachiosaurus. Human beings, no matter who they are, after being cut and skinned, Song is just a bunch of idlers. Ren. 142. Summit War. Please subscribe automatically. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. What a domineering word. Worthy of being Luo Qiye. Whether it is the style of acting or the words he speaks, every action and every word is full of domineering spirit. It's really domineering and handsome, but Plague Quinn is not easy to mess with. Luo Qiye said just now that Plague Quinn is a transforming dragon. What's this? I don't know. I have never seen Plague Quinn make a move, because everyone who saw him died. It is rumored that the Plague Quinn has turned into a place of death where no creature can survive. The plague is raging, and the entire island will be completely reduced to purgatory, and then it will be reduced to a barren land with no grass. Run away. This is no longer a place for us to stay. Many pirates thought of the fear of being shrouded in flames from Flame Calamity Jinn before. Those companions who were burned to ashes are still vivid in my memory. That scene, even if they are pirates, they will never forget it for the rest of their lives. Horror picture lingering, and this Plague Quinn is even more mysterious and terrifying. Although he ranks behind Yan Calamity Jinn, he is a really troublesome person. Once belonged to the research team MADS, also as a top scientist Plague Quinn, Grandmaster Virus, Biochemical and Technological Transformation. His own powerful strength, coupled with the halo of a scientist, cruel means, and vicious style of acting. No one has actually seen Plague Quinn make a move. It is precisely because everyone who has seen him make a move is already dead. Plague Quinn, the 3 major disasters of Beasts Pirates are all here today. Really, sure enough, I'm about to witness history again. Morgans was very excited. He risked his life to shoot. While being terrified, he was also extremely dedicated. He did not forget to put the camera phone bug in place. He wanted to record all of this and broadcast all the battles that happened next to the New York Times. All over the world. At the same time, the major forces in the New World and the major pirate groups have also received news one after another. Luo Qiye alone against the 4 Emperor's Beasts Pirates 3 disasters. Drought disaster. Jack has been beheaded by Luo Qiye. A sword cut drought disaster Jack in half backquote. Jin, the first of the 3 major disasters of the Beasts Pirates, had his wings cut off by Luo Qiye and completely lost his fighting power. Luo Qiye still has to face the Plague Quinn. Hiss. When the news spread, I don't know how many pirates on the island were killed, I don't know how many big pirate groups were shocked by it, I don't know how many big forces were shocked by it. Advertisement. East Blue. Above the sky in a certain sea area. Like a miracle, there are actually islands suspended in midair. A pirate ship that looks like a large island is sailing in midair, which is extremely shocking. On board this world-horrifying pirate ship, imps from the Red Hair Pirates. What a surprise. A pirate with long blonde hair like a lion's mane and a rudder stuck in his head opened his mouth. This person is the legendary great pirate who successfully escaped from the deep-sea prison. Golden Lion Shiki. At this time, on the broken foot of Golden Lion Shiki, 2 famous swords, Sakura 10, and Dead Wood, are stepped on the left and right, and he stands proudly on the deck of the flying pirate ship, looking down at the blue sea below. When the wind came, Golden Lion's long blonde hair fluttered, and the clouds around him rolled back, and his whole body was extremely haughty. The ambition and arrogance of the lion roaring all over the world and swallowing the world were revealed, and he roared wildly, "It's a very surprising if I can accept him as a subordinate and let him work for me, he will definitely help me conquer the world." Jia ha 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 ha. Wild laughter resounded through the clouds. At this moment, his plan to destroy East Blue can be shelved. The first half of the Grand Line. Naval Headquarters Marine Vando Harbor. Sengoku leads many naval headquarters powerhouses and returns. The Blackbeard pirates have landed at the port. Marshal's office. You want the title 7 warlords of the sea. Sengoku stared at Blackbeard in front of him, guessing the plan in the latter's mind. As the marshal of naval headquarters, he couldn't see through what kind of medicine was sold in Blackbeard's gourd. Naturally. Thief ha ha ha. Blackbeard laughed loudly. What I offer you is the son of Roger, the pirate king. In exchange, it is only the title of 7 warlords of the sea, isn't that enough? One Piece son of Roger. As soon as Blackbeard said this, many elite marine forces around Sengoku stared wide-eyed. The vice admirals of naval headquarters looked at Blackbeard in shock. And at this time, the agent rushed to Sengoku's side. Reported the latest information about Luo Qiye in a low voice. Advertisement. It's just right, Staff Crane will make the most correct decision according to the situation. Sengoku nodded slightly, telling the intelligence agent to back down. He didn't say any more, but looked at Blackbeard. Let the old man think about it. New World. The Whitebeard Pirates. Moby DK aboard. Father, Luo Qiye fought against the three major disasters of Beast's pirates alone. Phoenix Marco showed surprise on his face, and said in surprise, I didn't expect that he really hid part of his strength when he came to us last time. Hoo la 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 la. Whitebeard laughed boldly, a brand new era may have really come. The interesting kid is much more interesting than the red-haired kid. Both in courage and skill, he is far superior to the red-haired kid. Father, you said, the war that Luo Qiye predicted last time. Foil Vista continued with a hint of worry, does it exist? Last time, Luo Qiye spoils Summit War for the Whitebeard Pirates. After that, although the domineering Whitebeard didn't care about it and was fearless, the captains of the Whitebeard Pirates still took a lot of preparatory actions to prepare for a life-and-death war. If war comes, we will fight it. Why be afraid? Whitebeard is not afraid of anything. He laughed heartily. Speaking of which, I really want to see that kid Luo Qiye again. He can kill that guy Kaido's subordinates. Luo Qiye is also a real big man in this sea. Hoo la 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 la. This is Whitebeard's absolute recognition of Luo Qiye's strength. This moment, quite a few Get Qian Zhao members of the Whitebeard Pirates thought of the scene where Luo Qiye made a big fuss on the Moby DK that day. This scene seems to be vivid. A little boy, boarding the Moby DK alone. What a hockey. Even the many pirates of the White group who were opponents at that time had to admit that Luo Qiye was strong and domineering, as well as the strength that matched it. At this time, Luo Qiye got the absolute approval of the strongest man above this sea. It did not exceed the expectations of everyone in the Baituan. Only, Luo Qiye's recent performance has made many pirates in the Whitebeard Pirates believe a little more. Luo Gangyi's prediction of the Whitebeard destructive war. Luo Qiye's prophecy. It's real. Such a view was born in the hearts of everyone in the Whitebeard Pirates. A war that truly changed the era of great voyages, a battle that concerns the life and death of the Whitebeard Pirates, began to germinate, began to brew, and the battle of the world began to hang over the hearts of everyone in the Whitebeard Pirates. 143. Big Mom Pirates appear. Want to kill me? With your group of shrimp soldiers and crab generals, you are not qualified enough. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Sabayati Archipelago, on Island 46. Kacha. Just when the battle between the two sides was about to break out. Uninvited guests land on the island and arrive at the battlefield. Is it coming? Doflamingo looked up to the other side, but saw that the leader of the three was holding giant swords, tall and strangely shaped, leading many menacing subordinates, walking towards the battlefield step by step. Little Lord Dover. Many cadres of the Don Quixote family tensed up, and they subconsciously approached Doflamingo a few steps. Big Mom Pirates, Sweets 4 Generals. Charlotte Katakori. Charlotte Cracker. Charlotte Snug. This group of people landed on the battlefield and immediately attracted everyone's attention. It also attracted a lot of exclamations. 4 Emperors. Big Mom Pirates. 4 top cadres, here are 3. The battle is developing in an unpredictable direction. The third 4 Emperors force is on the scene. Today is destined to be a battle between the 4 Emperors Pirates. The top combat power of the 4 Emperors is gathered here. This is definitely an unprecedented battle. I don't know why the Big Mom 017 Pirates are here. Did Luo Qiye provoke the Big Mom Pirates? I don't know, but I remember that there was a fighter from the Big Mom pirate group on Luo Qiye's pirate ship. That's Luo Qiye's enemy. After getting this news, many pirates have already made up their minds. Luo Qiye will face the strongest combat power of the 4 Emperors alone today. I'm afraid Luo Qiye will be in trouble today. There are 3 desert stars. The 3 Admiral Stars of the Big Mom Pirates led the team, and they landed on the battlefield in a mighty manner, with a fierce momentum and an unusually high profile. You are Luo Qiye. Charlotte Katakori arrived on the battlefield, and spoke first. He opened and closed his eyes, staring at Luo Qiye, and his voice came out from the scarf. It's just a kid in his teens, but he can actually have the combat power to kill Jack. Surprised me, but, we're here today, and there's only one way for you. That is death. Advertisement. His voice carried awe-inspiring killing intent, resounding throughout the island. This moment, the CEBD pirates running away couldn't help shaking. This completely confirmed Luo Qiye's doom. The highest combat power of the 4 Emperors pirate groups will put Luo Qiye to death at the same time. There is almost no suspense. Tread. The 4 people behind Luo Qiye took a step forward almost at the same time. Fujitora Yishao and Momosugi stood on the left and right of Luo Qiye. Boom. A meteorite then fell from the sky and landed in front of the Beast's pirates and Big Mom Pirates. Many pirates who were going forward were forced to take a few steps back. The meteorite separated Luo Qiye's side from the other 2 sides. Smoke from the meteorite rises. The smoke filled the air. Rolling up. If you dare to take half a step forward, the old man will not hold back. Fujitora spoke in a low voice with a smile. Momosugi, who was standing on the other side of Luo Qiye, also issued the supreme sharp knife Jinpadu in his hand. The 3 parties are at war. Blind swordsman. Charlotte Cracker said in a deep voice. But Luo Qiye ignored Cracker, but looked at Katakuri, Charlotte Katakuri. I didn't expect that Charlotte Linlin would send you here. However, it doesn't matter who comes. Anyone who wants to kill me, there's only one ending. Luo Qiye faced the highest battle strength of the two Four Emperors pirate groups. He still had a calm face, no waves, a high-pitched voice, and an arrogant demeanor, and continued, that is the confession of being sent to hell by my people. I really want to see the scenery of hell. Katakuri's voice sounded like a ruthless killer, without a trace of emotion. I'm afraid you are not qualified enough. Katakuri of the Charlotte family. At this time, Plague Quinn spoke. His voice was dull, with an unscrupulous tone. With our cooperation, we can easily kill this kid named Luo Qiye. 4 people including his blind swordsman subordinate. Hear what Quinn said. Many pirates in the distance gasped. Sure enough, Luo Qiye couldn't escape today. The top combat power of the two pirate groups joined forces. Even if Luo Qiye showed invincible strength before, I am afraid it will be difficult to end well today. Advertisement. Can't get out of this Sabayati archipelago alive. Even Fujitora Yishao and others became nervous. Momosuke, who is an admiral-level strength, subconsciously grasped the gold vira in his hand. Stussy became even more nervous. If the two Four Emperors pirate groups join forces, I am afraid that today will really be a battle of life and death. Only Wabel, a one-sided guy, was so excited that he even wanted to rush over to fight. However, Luo Qiye's order was not received. He didn't dare to act rashly. However, to everyone's surprise, Katakuri disdains this. Cooperate. Katakuri just glanced at Quinn, and ignored him. His face hidden under the scarf showed a look of disdain. I'm not used to fighting with others. As soon as this remark came out, many people from Beast's Pirates were upset. You turned down Boss Quinn. I just like Katakuri-sama's character. Don't give Boss Quinn any face. The many pirates of Beast's Pirates couldn't help but let out a commotion. As a member of the Four Emperors pirate group, if you need to join hands with others to deal with a mere brat, won't you be afraid of being laughed out of your teeth by spreading the word? That is, a life and death fight between real men. They, who are also members of the Four Emperors pirate group, were rejected by Katakuri in public. This can be said to be very disrespectful to their Beast's Pirates. Damn Katakuri. Luo Qiye's voice sounded at this moment. You want to kill me? You guys are not qualified enough. No need for fancy tricks. Many members of the Big Mom pirate group also spoke one after another. To deal with a mere Luo Qiye, we don't need to join forces with anyone. Even if you join forces, so what? As for the Big Mom pirates, they cheered up one by one. A fight is a fight. Especially Katakuri's subordinates. As members of the Four Emperors pirate group, they have their own pride. Influenced by Katakuri. 144. On the top of the sea, proud of the world, if there is me, there will be heaven. Advertisement. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host. You have succeeded in pretending to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 26000 pretending points. Close black lens bracket. A beep sounds. Luo Qiye was slightly happy. Not bad. The arrival of the Big Mom pirates has significantly improved the pretense of harvesting. Only, Luo Qiye's words aroused the anger of the crowd. This brat is really rampant. I want to rip his mouth out. This kind of brat is eloquent, and he never forgets to speak quickly. I hate this kind of brat the most in my life. Master Quinn, please allow us to tear this brat to pieces. Many pirates in Beast's Pirates spoke indignantly. Everyone looked at Luo Qiye, wishing to eat him raw. But they still dare not act rashly. Especially after the arrival of the Big Mom pirates. People from the Beast's Pirates are even more afraid to act rashly. Don't look at the peace and harmony between the Beast's Pirates and Big Mom pirates. The relationship between the two captains of the Four Emperors is also good. Once one of the pirate groups is in crisis, the other pirate group will definitely be the fisherman who fights for the fisherman's profit, and will attack them without hesitation. Quinn just invited Katakuri to take action, and he is also looking forward to Luo Qiye's group injuring Big Mom's 3 Admiral stars. If the time permits, he, Quinn, and the Big Mom pirates will destroy 10 pieces. Greatly weaken Big Mom's strength. His ability has an indiscriminate attack. At that time, he will be able to sink the entire island, and make all creatures on the entire island cease to exist. Unfortunately, Katakuri, this guy is not fooled at all. Also rude. Quinn was smoking a cigar, looking at Katakuri, and he said in a low voice, his voice was thunderous, it's hot, don't you feel hot when you wear a scarf? You are not a reformer, why are you pretending to be cruel? Mind your own business. Katakuri held a trident, flashing a cold light, he said coldly, if you still want to leave here alive, just shut up. What an unreasonable fellow. Advertisement. Quinn raised his mechanical arm slightly, and a powerful destructive force gathered on his mechanical arm. Since you don't have the guts to attack first, then Luo Qiye's head is ours. What a big joke. Luo Qiye waved his hand, and the mighty river of swords reorganized into a huge sword throne in the void, and at the same time a long ladder of swords appeared. Luo Qiye walked step by step along the long ladder made of swords, and walked to the throne of swords. Standing on such a throne, the sea breeze blows, and the clothes flutter, just like a fairy returning home with the wind. Luo Qiye turned around and sat on the throne of swords, looking down at the two forces of the Four Emperors below. Whether it's the 3 major disasters or the desert 4 generals, I will kill when I want to, who can stop me? Luo Qiye's move once again aroused the attention of the audience. Especially the Doflamingo people in the distance, seeing Luo Qiye's actions, they couldn't help being speechless. Doflamingo's mouth twitched wildly. Now he is a little doubtful whether Luo Qiye is pretending like this on purpose. This guy, isn't he afraid of being beaten to death if he pretends like this? As the king of the underground world, Doflamingo, who takes both black and white in the new world, knows the strength of Plague Quinn and Katakuri all too well. These two are existences that cannot be provoked, but Luo this guy Qiye dared to provoke these two people at the same time in public. Dover. Torebel asked in a low voice, Luo Qiye, is this guy at the end of his battle? Pretending to be calm. In fact, he is exhausted and unable to fight anymore. It's not impossible. After all, they witnessed with their own eyes that after Luo Qiye beheaded Drought Jack, he cut off Yan Calamity Jin's wings, completely losing his fighting power. Two major disasters in succession. Such a frightening battle, even the Admiral of Headquarters, is probably difficult to do. She. Doflamingo grinned. He was just about to speak. Suddenly felt a gaze coming. Doflamingo's words stop abruptly. It stopped abruptly, because the eyes of the young man sitting on the throne of swords and swords in midair swept over. Just a glance. Let Doflamingo, a born king full of ambition, dare not say a word. And this scene, just caught by Sharp Morgan's advertisement. Take a picture. Quickly, post this picture. Asking for flowers. Morgan's on the other side immediately ordered. He personally wrote and dictated, what is a real born king? With just one look from Luo Qiye, Don Quixote Duvrin, who was 7 warlords of the sea and king of Dressrosa Mingo, dare not speak. This is the real horror. Immediately, now. Go and put this on the headlines. Let it out to the world. 3 words from Morgan's, let the subordinates go crazy and busy. It won't be long. Whether it is the first half of the Grand Line or the New World, all major islands will know this news one after another. You will also see the photos of the scene just now. Doflamingo almost couldn't help wanting to shoot. 0. But after being glanced at by Luo Qiye, Doflamingo didn't dare to act rashly. Although he was born to be a king, he also had the ambition to plunge the world into madness and chaos, but he was not a fool, and he would not be foolish at this time. Qiye clashes head on. After all, as Doflamingo of 7 warlords of the sea, he knows best that in this world, after all, strength is the most respected, and fists speak. In the face of absolute strength, everything else has to step aside. And Luo Qiye is the one with absolute strength. At this time. It's not just Doflamingo who thinks so. Many pirates including Supernova in the distance raised their heads one after another at this time, and they couldn't help being shocked when they saw Luo Qiye sitting proudly on the throne of swords in midair. And many members of Beast's pirates and Big Dot Mom pirates are gnashing their teeth one by one. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you succeeded in pretending to be aggressive, and you got plus 30,369 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Another beep sounded. This makes people feel very comfortable. Very nice. In the 4 Cs, everyone should respect me. Looking up to me for life is your way back. Luo Qiye smiled. He looked at the many angry enemies below, his eyes opened and closed, without any fear at all. Instead, he released a powerful coercion, like a god overlooking all living things. He raised his hand and flicked the 1,000 blades of the magic knife, and purple light and blue light bloomed between the lines on the knife body. The top of the sea, proud of the world, if there is me, Qiye, there will be heaven. 145. It's messed up, it's all messed up. Totally messed up. See how Luo Qiye ends up. Open black lens bracket seek full order close black lens bracket. Advertisement. It's really Haki's words. A voice sounded leisurely. Followed by a lazy middle-aged man, riding a bicycle, riding slowly. He is tall, wearing a white suit vest, a dark blue shirt, a marine coat, a green eye patch on his forehead, and black curly hair. He rides a bicycle lazily and keeps moving forward. And as it approached, the temperature of the air dropped rapidly. The cold air suddenly hit. Wherever his bicycle passed, he left a trail of white ice crystals. Wherever the bicycle passes, everything is frozen. Hiss. Admiral of Headquarters Aokiji. The pirates who were reluctant to flee in the distance took a breath of air conditioning instantly. This time it's real air conditioning. The air you breathe is freezing cold. Logia Frozen Fruit Ability User, one of the highest combat power in Naval Headquarters, this, 370, Department Admiral Kuzan. How did he come here? What's the situation? Naval Headquarters also want to intervene in the Sabayati Archipelago incident. Damn. This damn oppressive feeling. The Big Mom pirate group and many pirates from the Beast's pirates cried out when they saw Aokiji arrive. That damn oppressive feeling made them feel cold all over. But on their foreheads, there were streams of cold sweat one by one. Such is the deterrent power of the Admiral of Headquarters. Even those from the New World, from the 4 Emperors pirate group, will be terrified. The icy air made every pirate present couldn't help shivering. What are you afraid of? He's just a stronger sailor. Katakuri opened his mouth, his trident suddenly turned to Kuzan, and his voice was sonorous and forceful. Have we killed too few sailors? Kacha. There seemed to be the sound of ice crystals shattering in the air. With the sound of Katakuri's voice, many pirates of the Big Dot Mom pirate group woke up one after another. Only then did they realize that the Admiral of Headquarters made them lose their will to fight at that moment. This is something they, as pirates, will never allow to happen. If Naval Headquarters wants to intervene in the affairs of the pirates. Plague Quinn also spoke in a low voice. His voice was loud, with a destructive attribute. Then I can consider it, and get rid of Marine first. As Quinn said, if Marine intervenes in the conflict between the pirates, then the conflict between the two parties can be temporarily put on hold and Marine will be dealt with first. Advertisement. All pirates don't like Marines. This is natural hostility. From the moment I became a pirate, I was destined to be an enemy of Marine. Quinn's words cheered up the pirates of many beasts pirates. Kill Marine. Kill Marine first. Pirates and Marine are irreconcilable, they are natural enemies, kill Marine. The shouts kept ringing, one after another, and the blood of all the pirates was boiling. This moment, even the pirates watching the battle from afar were infected one after another. Their first reaction when they saw Luo Qiye was to run for their lives. But at this moment, when the top fighters of the two Four Emperors pirate groups spoke, they seemed to be infected, and each of them was full of excitement, wanting to do great things. Only, how much their own strength is, they still have a little certainty in their hearts. Only this guy, Doflamingo, once again showed a look of watching a show on his face. This play, he is sure. Kill Marine first. It's just one person. Kill him, and it won't be too late to deal with Luo Qiye. Kill him. Shouts and roars sounded one after another, constantly rising and falling. The two Four Emperors pirate groups seemed to have reached a consensus at this moment. However, just at this time, behind Luo Qiye, figures appeared again. Every figure has a very powerful aura. Strong momentum. The moment she saw these figures, Momosagi's eyes suddenly changed, her beautiful pupils shrank, and her body tensed up suddenly. Naval Headquarters Crane Staff, Marine Alternate Admiral Chapo. And 4 Major Vice Admirals. Hiss. When these figures appeared, many pirates who threatened to kill Marine first, the voices and loud slogans in their mouths suddenly stopped. That's it. Advertisement. Stopped abruptly. All eyes turned to the group of people behind Luo Qiye. Turn out to be, Luo Qiye is just a little faster and arrives early. There are so many top fighters from Naval Headquarters who come to action with him. Run for your life. Hurry up. This place is not suitable to stay for long. Naval Headquarters unexpectedly has so much power. These powers are probably enough to crush the pirate forces on a large island. It's not enough to have Admiral alone in the headquarters. There are so many strong Marines here. It's messed up. It's all messed up. This time it's completely messed up. Luo Qiye. Beasts Pirates. Big Mom Pirates. Naval Headquarters. The strongest combat forces of the 4 forces are gathered in Sabayati Archipelago at the same time. I am afraid that this island will be sunk. Hurry up and run for your life. If you don't run for your life, you will die. The pirates who watched the battle from afar fled one after another. Anyway, they can watch the battle through the projection phone bug. Why do you have to sacrifice your life just to watch the excitement? Only Morgans, who is dedicated to his job and loves his post, led a group of journalists to stick to the front line and never retreated. I really want to see how Luo Qiye ends up. Doflamingo, who has the 7 warlords of the sea and the ability to take both black and white, has not retreated at this time. Everyone wants to know how Luo Qiye will end up. Chaos. Chaos is coming. The top combat forces in the 4 directions, any one of these powerhouses is enough to destroy an island. Now they have gathered so many at the same time. I am afraid that the entire Sabayati archipelago will be destroyed. 3.6. And the protagonist who triggered this chaos war, Luo Qiye himself, was sitting on the throne of swords at this time, and called out the system without haste. System, check my current pretentious point. This war has completely developed in an unpredictable direction. Be it the New World or the first half of the Grand Line, when the pirates from the major powers and islands saw the top forces of Naval Headquarters joining the battlefield, they all let out a cry of admiration. Certainly, this moment, all around the world. A terrifying battle is about to break out. Seeing the live broadcast of the projection phone bug, all the major pirate forces exclaimed. The camera phone bug will broadcast the scenes of the scene. The top combat power of Naval Headquarters participate in the Sabayati archipelago battle. No one knows what will happen in the next moment. Up to now, no one can predict the outcome of this war. Spread across the many islands of the Grand Line, among the many factions. 146. Sword 23. The Emperor of Europe is here. 4 emperors can kill 2. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe for full order. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Host currently has 166,764 pretense points. The system replied. The corners of Luo Qiye's mouth rose slightly, and with more than 160,000 points of pretense, he decided to draw a lottery. System, let's have an ultimate lottery draw. Host consumes 100,000 pretense points to start the ultimate lucky draw. Congratulations to Host, you have obtained the Holy Spirit Sword Art Sword 23, full level. A wonderful and mysterious power was born in Luo Qiye's body. This moment, Luo Qiye felt that he was a peerless sword master. The sword intent soared to the sky. Sword 23 in the Holy Spirit Sword Art. Even Luo Qiye, who is used to the trick, couldn't help but be surprised by it at this time. To know, this Sword 23 comes from Fengyan world, its moves are very mysterious, and its power is even more inexhaustible. Once cast, the user's spirit will leave the body, and wherever the spirit goes, everything will be static. Time and space will be static, all enemies will be slaughtered by the spirit, and they will already be half human and half god when it is cast. Sword 23 has surpassed the human way of swordsmanship, and it is a sword move that should not exist in the world. In Fengyan world, Dugu Jian Yuanshan came out of his body and used Jian 23 to fight Xiongba, and bloodbathed Tianxiahui and Tianxiailo. The power is extremely terrifying, as strong as Xiongba, and he has no power to fight back. 24. And Luo Qiye obtained this ability through the system, and its power will continue to increase with the improvement of its own strength. It can even go beyond the original world. The only disadvantage of this sword technique is that the soul will be out of the body, and the body will be extremely fragile. If there is a super long-distance sniper, there will be great danger. But Luo Qiye is not afraid of this. His observation haki keeps improving. Observation haki can detect whether there is any danger in using sword 23. This trick works well with observation haki. System, let's go to the super lucky draw for 6 consecutive draws. Host consumes 10,000 pretense points to start the advanced lottery draw. Congratulations to host, you got observation haki upgraded to 1 level. Luo Qiye smiled slightly, he feels himself changing. Originally a high-level observation haki, at this moment, upgrade to a top-level observation haki. Luo Qiye frowned slightly. After using the top observation haki, a brief picture appeared in his mind. I seem to be able to see the future in short order. In that brief scene, Luo Qiye saw something about his own future. Only, that picture is kinda gorgeous. He glanced at Momosugi slightly, and looked further away. In the picture just now, many beauties appeared. Among them is Momosugi. There are also many slim figures that Luo Qiye is familiar with. Advertisement. Just thinking about it, the sound of the system continued to sound. Host consumes 10,000 pretense points to start the advanced lottery draw. Congratulations to host, you got Conqueror's Haki upgraded to 1 level. Not bad. Luo Qiye is happy again, today is really extremely lucky. I actually got 3 rounds in a row, which is quite a good reward. Host consumes 10,000 pretense points to start the advanced lottery draw. Congratulations to host, you got Conqueror's Haki upgraded to 1 level. Luo Qiye was pleasantly surprised on the spot, good guy, he directly drew 2 upgrades. The original mid-level Conqueror's Haki has been directly promoted to the top-level Conqueror's Haki. Luo Qiye feels his own picture, at this moment, he is a godless emperor, with arrogance swallowing the world, reaching the peak, unparalleled in the world. This feeling far surpasses the Conqueror's Haki that can be wrapped around a weapon. For Luo Qiye, who is familiar with the setting of the original book, he immediately felt that the Conqueror's Haki he possessed has surpassed the level of coiled weapons. This is the top Conqueror's Haki. Host consumes 10,000 pretense points to start the advanced lottery draw. Congratulations to host, you got stamina plus 200. Boom. At this moment, Luo Qiye felt that his physical fitness had undergone earth-shaking changes, and his physical fitness had been greatly improved. Physical strength represents persistence and endurance, etc. Simply put, it's the runner. All aspects related to physical strength have been greatly improved. Whether it's a fight, or something else. Whether it lasts or lasts, whether it is endurance or not, it is closely related to it. Host consumes 10,000 pretense points to start the advanced lottery draw. Congratulations to host, you got Buddha's Wrath Fire Lotus 3-color Fire Lotus Giant, Fiction World. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. When the system prompt sounded, Chuan Qiye couldn't help but be surprised. This isn't it. 3-color Buddha Fury Lotus, this is used by Xiao Yan in the Fighting Chi world, and directly kills the strong Do Zong with the Fighting King Leapfrog. So scary. This is much better than the Rasengan of Naruto in the Hokage world. This is also the first time that the system does not classify grades according to elementary, intermediate and advanced levels. Instead, use 3 colors. This means that the Buddha's Wrath Fire Lotus that I used is equivalent to the power of the protagonist in the novel Do Chi world fused with 3 different fires. A more mysterious power was born in Luo Qiye's body. This moment, Luo Qiye once again felt that he had mastered another kind of power. Advertisement. The Do Zong strong can kill, so can the 4 emperors also be killed? A bold idea suddenly appeared in Luo Qiye's mind. Above Do Zong, there are Do Zun, Do Sheng, and Do Di. Divided by the power levels of the 2 worlds. Do Zong should be at least the 4 emperors level. After all, Do Zun can already open up space passages. As powerful as Whitebeard, it can't do the power of space. Host consumes 10,000 pretense points to start the advanced lottery draw. Congratulations to host, you got strength plus 108. 6 consecutive draws are over. In the last shot, Luo Qiye even got a power boost. During this period of battle, Luo Qiye's overall attributes have also been greatly improved. This time, the system can be enhanced again. Luo Qiye's physical attributes have probably reached an extremely high level. Today Luo Qiye's official Ohuang visits in person. System, check my personal attribute panel. Yes, host. Personal information panel. Host. 797 Luo Qiye. Age. 10 years old. Strength. 966 ordinary people are 10. Pretty good. Only, all this is a long story. It actually happens only for a very short time. The physical attribute has actually broken through 1,000. Weapon. Magic saber thousand blades. Aokiji ignored the beast's pirates and Big Mom pirates, but looked up at Luo Qiye, and then at Momoshiki, Gion Vice Admiral, are you sure you want to betray naval headquarters and become Luo Qiye's man? Quote. Pretentious points. 6,764. Abilities. Holy Spirit Swordsmanship Sword 23, full level. Buddha's Wrath and Fire Lotus 3 colors Gambling, full level. Full level of Sword Intent. Full level of Swordsmanship Talent, 100% Empty-Handed and White Blade, Full level Observation Haki, Top Conqueror's Haki, Top Armament Haki, Advanced, Full Body Susano, Gold, Hado no 90 Black Coffin, Full level Listening to All Things, Full level Starburst Airflow Slash, Full level Moko Bodmo, Advanced, Yujian Flying, Sword Lie Intermediate Kilometer, One Sword Opens Heaven's Gate Primary, and Sound Wave Penetration Ability. This so-called confrontation is completely one-sided. Luo Qiye raised his head slightly. Physical Strength. 1086-10 for ordinary people. Not bad. Speed. 777-10 for ordinary people. While Luo Qiye draws a lottery, the four forces below confront each other. Even with the presence of Admiral of Headquarters Aokiji, the hatred of all the pirates is still like a huge wave. Because the pirates collectively turn to Marine at this moment. However, 147. Shocking reversal. Please subscribe automatically. Ask for full order. Advertisement. Hear Kuzan's words. Momosigi's body tensed involuntarily. Her demeanor became a little unnatural, her silver teeth clenched her lips, but her eyes showed firmness. Feel sorry. Momosigi looked up at Staff Crane, gritted his teeth and said, the past has become a thing of the past. Please take back my identity as Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral. From now on, I will only be Gion, not Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral Momosigi. Are you sure you want to do this? Staff Crane seemed to have aged a lot in an instant, and he was still full of energy at first, but at this moment he seemed like a deflated ball. When he looked at Momosigi, she became old and weak at the same time. You don't have to. In this way, if you have any reason to fall into his hands and be threatened, you can tell me. Now return to Marine, and we will act as if nothing happened. No need. Momosigi didn't want to explain too much. She said bluntly, everyone understands justice differently. The justice of working for the nobles of the world is not worth my life. In the future, whether it is swords, or life and death, I will stick to my heart. Justice. Forget it. Aokiji opened his mouth, and interrupted Staff Officer He, who wanted to continue talking. Today I can only take you back with great regret, and imprison you in the impel-down prison. Is it? Luo Qiye spoke suddenly. Looking down, the haughty voice continued to sound. I want to see, who can touch my Luo Qiye's subordinates. Kuzan, I advise you to stay on the side honestly, don't make mistakes. Quote. Oh, Kuzan raised his head and looked at Luo Qiye in surprise. What you said really made people feel uncomfortable. It is only natural for Marines to catch pirates. As for self-error or not, let's see the truth. Luo Qiye, why don't we join forces and kill all the Marines, and then we can decide whether to live or die. At this time, Plague Quinn actually said, Katakuri, what do you think? Hearing Quinn's words, many Marines became nervous. Even those top-notch vice admirals drew their weapons one after another at this time. War is imminent, and once all the pirates on the scene attack at the same time, the probability of Marine survival is not high. Only Staff Officer He didn't feel any surprise, nor did she feel any fear at all. Although she was old, not only did her strength not decline, but she also became more scheming. She has already determined that it is impossible for the forces of the three pirate groups to join forces. Otherwise, how could she stand up at this time? If the three-party pirates will join forces, she will not appear on the stage, but will take Marine and wait in the distance. When the three-party pirates are finished, she will bring Marine to reap the benefits of the fishermen. Staff Officer Crane looked at Luo Qiye for the first time. She showed sincerity, and showed a seemingly peaceful smile. Luo Qiye, I know everything you have done, and I know that you never killed innocent people indiscriminately. You have never done anything wrong to ordinary people. You have never burned, killed, plundered. On the contrary, you have also killed many evil big pirates. It can be seen that you must also be a young man with justice in his heart. Marshal Sengoku invited you to join the naval headquarters, which is actually ill-advised. We know you like freedom, no limits, and don't want to be bound by the rules of the Marine. So. Now, as the staff officer of naval headquarters, I formally invite you to join 7 warlords of the sea. Advertisement. I don't know what your intention is. Wow. Staff Officer Crane finished his sentence. The audience is in an uproar. Many Marines are making noise. This. Invite Luo Qiye to become 7 warlords of the sea. But, didn't you say just now that they will be arrested and put in the impel-down prison? Perhaps Staff Crane has other arrangements. I didn't expect it to be like this. Regardless of inviting Luo Qiye to become 7 warlords of the sea, Staff Crane's evaluation of him is actually so high. A young man with justice in his heart. Perhaps, this is the best result. Even the 4 vice admirals couldn't help exclaiming. The on-site inviter became 7 warlords of the sea, and Luo Qiye was the first one. And the many pirates who heard Staff Officer Crane's words widened their eyes. Incredible. How could naval headquarters make such a decision? Especially the many pirates of Beast's pirates, there was an uproar. Are you kidding me? Is this okay? No way. Naval headquarters invited a pirate to become 7 warlords of the sea. If Luo Qiye agrees to become 7 warlords of the sea, aren't we in danger? With the strength of Luo Qiye and naval headquarters, if we join forces with the Big Mom pirates, maybe we still have a chance. It feels a little dangerous. No one thought of it. Staff Crane will do this. It directly reversed the situation on the scene. It was originally the three big pirate forces, aiming at naval headquarters. Pirates are at an absolute advantage. Now Staff Crane has turned the situation around in an instant, and the pirates have become an absolute disadvantage. Even Quinn couldn't help but change his expression. The expressions of many pirates in Big Mom pirate group also changed drastically. Advertisement. If Marine joins forces with Luo Qiye, they can only choose to join forces with the Beast's pirates. The trust between different pirate groups is simply impossible to hand over each other's backs to each other. There is suspicion. Everyone will try their best to fight Marine. Then there is only one result. That is when Marine teamed up with Luo Qiye to defeat the Big Mom pirates and the Beast's pirates one by one. Damn it. Damn Marine. Why did it appear at this time? These old monsters from naval headquarters are incapable of fighting head-on, they only play tricks and strategies. We fought with them. Kill one to earn money, kill two to earn one. Master Katakuri, let's fight. Katakuri's expression, Hao Jiao, hidden under the scarf also changed slightly. It's going to be a hell of a fight. Even Doflamingo and his party were a little shocked. Everyone's eyes, almost all looked at Luo Qiye at the same time. Waiting for his answer. Many pirates of the Big Mom pirate group have opened their mouths. They follow Katakuri on weekdays, and their behavior style is very similar to Katakuri, they don't bother to play tricks. He grabbed the trident in his hand. Want to know Luo Qiye's answer? Today, Staff Crane's plan depends on Luo Qiye's answer. Because, you are indeed the staff officer of naval headquarters. He looked at Luo Qiye. This moment, Marine, Big Mom pirates, Beast's pirates, Plague Quinn, Katakuri, Crane staff, etc., all eyes are on Luo Qiye. Doflamingo let out a laugh. He was far away, and laughed comfortably. The situation was reversed in an instant. What a 7 warlords of the sea, it was really played by Staff Crane to the ultimate. Not only were they in an uproar, but even many pirates in the distance were shocked. 148. Spike. When did you have the illusion that I have no power to fight anymore? Advertisement. Everyone is waiting for Luo Qiye's answer. This moment, including Momoshiki, Stussy, Fujitora and others. It also includes the major pirate groups and the major forces of the New World who watched this scene through the camera phone bug. Momoshiki's eyes drooped. Will Luo Qiye agree? Judging from the current situation, his best choice is to agree. Become 7 warlords of the sea. Stussy raised his head slightly, his beautiful eyes shining brightly, looking at Luo Qiye above. No matter what choice Luo Qiye makes, she will follow to the death. Fujitora smiled and waited for the result. When he wants to come. Whether Luo Qiye accepts it or not, it will be a battle. Fujitora smiled and didn't want Luo Qiye to accept it. And those pirates who watched the battle through camera phone bugs and were in other sea areas felt that there was a high probability that Luo Qiye would agree. Based on the human nature of seeking advantages and avoiding disadvantages. Luo Qiye should agree. 7 warlords of the sea, after all, is also a good title. With it, you can walk between marines and pirates. And it's not bound by marine, you only need to make a move when summoned. If I were Luo Qiye, I would definitely agree. That's the best option for him. The people who are most worried about 400 and the most nervous right now are the Beast's pirates and the Big Mom pirates. Once Luo Qiye accepts the invitation and becomes the 7 warlords of the sea, then the next step is to hunt them down. This moment, I don't know how many pirate groups are paying attention to Luo Qiye. I don't know how many big forces are staring at this battlefield, waiting for Luo Qiye's answer. However, before Luo Qiye could speak, someone spoke first. Among the Big Mom pirates, Charlotte Snug, one of the 4 desert generals standing at the front, suddenly laughed and said, Luo Qiye, I guess you will just accept this humiliating thing for the pirates obediently. The title of 7 warlords of the sea. Because now you are just dressed in a suit, and you don't have the power to fight anymore. Ha 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 ha. Charlotte Snag seems to be trying to provoke Luo Qiye on purpose. Actually, this is the innermost thought of most pirates. Luo Qiye had fought the Drought Jack to the death before. Advertisement. After killing him, he will fight with Flame Calamity Jin again. In the end, he cut off the wings of Yan Calamity Jin with strong means, making him completely lose his fighting power, and he is still in a coma. If it were anyone, I'm afraid they would fall into a situation of exhaustion. So, most of the people present felt the same way. Luo Qiye is already at the end of his battle. Even Staff Crane and many Marines think so. Therefore, Staff Crane's trick to surrender is the ultimate level. Surrender when Luo Qiye is at his weakest. The probability of success has been increased to the maximum. Why does Luo Qiye need anything? Provocative method. Luo Qiye laughed. He suddenly stood up from the throne of swords. Swish. Just in the blink of an eye, the figure of Luo Qiye appeared on top of Charlotte Snug. With lightning speed, he kicked out a kick. When kicked out, and the power exploded, causing the airman to emit a sonic boom, but before the sound lamp 5 reached everyone's ears, Luo Qiye's kick had already kicked Charlotte Snug over. There are streaks of dark purple lightning like matter blooming on Luo Qiye's toes. Like dark lightning. Extremely amazing. This is Conqueror's Haki Twine, and its precise control. Conqueror's Haki for Charlotte Snuggle alone. This leaves the latter with no chance to react at all. Everyone is numb. At the moment of being surrounded, the person flew upside down, but Luo Qiye didn't stop, but flew past Charlotte Snag with his whole body. Gotcha. Luo Qiye stepped on Charlotte Snuggle's body, broke countless ribs, and finally landed on Charlotte Snug's neck, making it difficult for him to breathe, his face flushed, pulling hard with both hands, but to no avail. This moment is too fast. It was so fast that no one could react. Luo Qiye suddenly made a decisive CEBC attack. At this moment, he was stepping on Charlotte Snug, with the white nuclear flat coat fluttering in the wind behind him, making a sound of hunting. He was extremely handsome, and he didn't even look at Charlotte Snug who was being stepped on. Luo Qiye spoke. The voice was like a god, arrogant and unruly, with awe-inspiring killing intent. When did you have the illusion that I have no power to fight again? Advertisement. Gotcha. Luo Qiye stepped hard. Go down decisively and fiercely. Charlotte Snuggle broke her neck instantly. Obliterated. Shocking spike. Said that no one responded. Charlotte Snug, one of the 4 Emperor's Pirates Desert Generals, was trampled to death by Luo Qiye. No superfluous actions, not to mention any superfluous words. In the blink of an eye, Charlotte Snag, one of the top fighters of the Big Mom Pirates, was trampled to death. Hiss. This moment, all the pirates who witnessed this scene all took a breath of air conditioning. The uproar resounded throughout Island 46. That dark purple lightning, is it Conqueror's Haki? Conqueror's Haki that can be entangled. Precise control. This. How powerful is Luo Qiye? Didn't it mean that he had just fought to the death with Drought Jack and Flame Jin? Didn't he say that he was at the end of his battle? Why was he able to kill a pirate from 4 Emperor's Big Mom in an instant? One of the regiment's strongest combat powers, Desert 4 Generals. Luo Qiye is horrible. Scary. It's an existence we can't afford to provoke. Such a person. No one will ever know his true background. It can be called an invincible existence. While the pirates in the distance were shocked, the pirates in the Beast's pirates near Luo Qiye's eyes widened. They couldn't believe the power Luo Qiye possessed at this moment. Second kill. Are you kidding me? Charlotte Snag, one of the 4 stars of Desert, was instantly killed by Luo Hong Yoruichi. Tell me it's not true. Luo Qiye is clearly at the end of his strength. Why is he still so powerful? In the blink of an eye, I haven't even seen his movements clearly. Charlotte, one of the 4 stars of Desert Snag, was trampled to death by his foot. As that human being. Shock. Total shock. At this moment, the many pirates of the Beast's pirates are as shocked as they can be. And the faces of the many pirates in the Big Mom pirate group changed drastically. Their faces were pale, and they were shocked and terrified at the same time. An extremely strong sense of fear quickly spread in the hearts of each of them, sweeping madly like a raging wave. Even Charlotte Cracker, who is the 4 stars of Desert, is also turning blue at this moment. Only Charlotte Katakuri remained silent, staring at Luo Qiye. The fighting spirit is burning wildly on him. The killing intent is soaring. 149. If you have any last words, tell them as soon as possible. Advertisement. Second kill. Kill a 4-star Desert General with 1 blow. Luo Qiye. He's crazy. What does he want? Is this to accept the title of 7 Warlords of the Sea and deal with an enemy first? Why do I feel that such an arrogant person is not unlikely to accept? Hush. Don't let him hear you. The Marines were all surprised, opening their mouths. Even he was a little uncertain about what Luo Qiye meant. And Luo Qiye's combat power was beyond her imagination. It was originally thought that Luo Qiye was in a weak state at this time. In this way, she took the initiative to invite Luo Qiye to join 7 Warlords of the Sea, with a higher success rate. Did not expect. Luo Qiye experienced 2 big battles. Still able to kill a 4-star Desert General of the Big Mom Pirates in 1 blow. Such a terrifying combat power. It doesn't look like exhausted at all. Doflamingo and the others were also shocked. And at this time, a system notification sounded in Luo Qiye's mind. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have successfully pretended to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 38,888 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. He actually gained so many pretentious points. Luo Qiye himself was a little surprised. Be reasonable. Just now he was just pretending to be a trick, and he didn't fully display his pretentious skills. Oops. Luo Qiye ignored Katakuri's murderous gaze, but let out a soft sigh, shook his head to himself, sighed, and said with a regretful expression. I accidentally used too much force. I'm really sorry. I accidentally trampled you to death when you retorted just now. I'm very sorry. I really didn't intend to kill you. It was just because you were too weak. I thought you, as one of the 4 Desert Generals of the Big Mom Pirates, would be very powerful. At least I won't be able to hold my feet. Never thought of it. Your strength is really lower than I imagined. It is really. Gotcha. Luo Qiye exerted force on his feet. Charlotte Snug's body exploded. Dead without a whole body. Advertisement. Terrible. Feel sorry. Luo Qiye showed an innocent and childlike smile. He looked at the pirates in front of him, and as his gaze swept over any pirate, that pirate would involuntarily take a few steps back. Just a glance. The many pirates who were the 4 Emperor's pirate group are scared back again and again. Just this scene. It was enough to make countless pirates go into an uproar. The scene spread around the world through several of Morgan's camera phone bugs. For a while, all the pirate groups were in an uproar. Just one look. Let them who are the four emperor's pirates, let them who used to be fierce and vicious, who used to burn, kill and loot without batting an eye, get scared back again and dare not take half a step forward. Is this the deterrent power of Luo Qiye? Even if the four emperors came in person, I'm afraid it would be nothing more than that. Could it be? Luo Qiye already has the strength of the four emperors level. As the fifth emperor on the grand line about to be born. Katakuri didn't take half a step back, he even took a step forward. At this time, everyone has figured this out. Charlotte Katakuri, who was holding a trident, not only did not retreat, but took a step forward. With a cold light in her hand, the trident pointed at Luo Qiye. You and I will fight to decide the outcome, but also life and death. Is it? Luo Qiye raised his head slightly, showing a slight arc, and said with a smile, if you and I fight, there will only be one result. If you lose, I will win. If you die, you will live. Hello. At this moment, Plague Quinn opened his mouth like a wild beast, with a thick and deep voice. Katakuri, I'm afraid you can't decide this battlefield alone. This is the end of the matter. Don't you plan to join forces with me? Do you want to see all your subordinates die here? I'm not in the habit of teaming up with people. Katakuri insisted on his own opinion, with the soaring fighting spirit and murderous aura in his eyes, as if he had only one target, and that was Luo Qiye. He stared at Luo Qiye every time before going out on a mission. You are already prepared to die in your heart. Death is all it takes, so what is there to be afraid of? Luo Qiye, dare to fight me. If you want to fight, then fight. Luo Qiye opened his mouth. His voice was proud, his coat fluttered in the wind behind him, making a sound of hunting. He was extremely handsome, extremely chic, and at the same time carried a sense of supreme domineering, like a born king. Swish. Katakuri no more nonsense. His body is like a cannonball, rushing towards Luo Qiye. Speed up to ultimate. Simply incredible. Just the sound of breaking wind makes the scalp tingle. Ding. The trident in Katakuri's hand fell towards Luo Qiye with a terrifying slash. Ask for flowers. Advertisement. But Luo Qiye just casually raised the magic knife thousand blades in his hand, and blocked the sword horizontally. All of a sudden, the flames blazed. Like a gunpowder explosion. The piercing sound of metal collisions resounded throughout the audience. Qi Jin rolls out like the waves of the sea. Tread, tread. With one blow, Katakuri was forced back hundreds of meters. Leave deep footprints on the ground. A series of cracks spread around its footprints. It's hard to imagine how amazing the power of this blow is. Gotcha. One blow was useless. Katakuri quickly struck out with a punch, sweeping across Luo Qiye. His fist was infinitely enlarged, infinitely extended, covered with the extremely powerful armament Haki, like a jet-black nuclear bomb, blasting towards Luo Qiye. This is the ability of Paramesha Nuo fruit. Useless. Luo Qiye was unusually calm. Like a supreme king, judging criminals, his voice is obviously very indifferent, but it gives people a kind of supreme domineering prestige. Boom. Luo Qiye raised his hand and punched it. Armament Haki covers its fists. Boom. There seemed to be streaks of dark purple lightning between the sky and the earth. The terrifying scene made the slightly weaker pirates, marines, subconsciously close their eyes, not daring to look directly at this terrifying scene. Katakuri unexpectedly forcibly stopped his retreating momentum. The ground under his feet turned into sticky balls, unloading the terrifying counter-shock force. The moment the two fists collided, the air wave rolled, and the energy rushed wildly, which was extremely terrifying. Your strength is so tyrannical. Change the surrounding environment and substances for your own use. Luo Qiye said arrogantly, if you have any last words, tell them as soon as possible, otherwise, I'm afraid you won't have a chance to say them. Katakuri showed shock for the first time, but the killing intent on his face became stronger. The more this is the case, the more interested I am in killing you. Unbelievable. It doesn't matter whether you have any interest in killing me. An incomparably powerful force rolled back towards Katakuri, and even sent him flying. But, eyes wide open, this is the awakening power of Paramesha Nuno fruit. One punch to gang Katakuri's fist. And those powerful existences turned their eyes one by one. All of a sudden, 150. Two-color Buddha Fury Lotus. Destruction starts from this moment. Open black lens bracket seek full order close black lens bracket. Advertisement. So arrogant. But he has the capital of arrogance. Even a strong man like Katakuri can't get the slightest benefit in his hands. He is really powerful and domineering. A boy in his teens can make Katakuri, the most powerful member of the Charlotte family, keep retreating. I can't even imagine how powerful he will be in the future. He is destined to be the real king. The appearance of the four emperors is the eyebrow and extra play. The red hair pirates produced such a young monster as Luo Qiye. It's really terrifying. Even if you look at the entire age of discovery, it has never happened before. The sound of exclamation and discussion continued to sound. And Luo Qiye also received a notification tone from the system. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have successfully pretended to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 36,789 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Luo Qiye's gaze was like a torch, and his body seemed to carry supreme coercion. He was really like a king who descended into the world, possessing the strength to overthrow all. May 17th. The four subordinates behind him were even more energetic. 5 people stood there. It's like being able to withstand thousands of troops. No fear of all-powerful enemies. This is Luo Qiye. I'll silence you and leave you speechless. Katakori's voice was deep and cold, his expression was ruthless, with endless killing intent. He suddenly pressed one hand on the ground, and slammed, flowing glutinous rice balls. Boom. In an instant, the whole ground turned into glutinous dough. Just like Wang Yangzi. Paramesha Nuo Fruit Awakening Power. Assimilate everything. Shish. The ground turned into endless glutinous balls, instantly enveloping Luo Qiye, swallowing Luo Qiye like a huge and terrifying slime. Chop cut rice cake. Katakori's arm suddenly rushed into the air, and at the same time it expanded infinitely, and rapidly expanded. At the same time, armament haki quickly covered and entwined, followed by a huge black mace that was as black as ink, and suddenly formed. Seeing where Luo Qiye was, he smashed it down. When Luo Qiye was trapped, he launched an unparalleled attack. This is Katakori's powerful attack. Boom. A terrifying sonic boom resounds throughout the island. The huge mace covered with the extremely powerful armament haki fell from the sky and blasted towards where Luo Qiye was. After this luck, the sky and the earth will change color, and the leather hammer will collapse. At this moment, I don't know how many people change their colors. Katakori's strength is completely beyond their imagination. Advertisement. It is clearly a Paramesha fruit ability user, but it has the same prehistoric power as the ancient species of Zone. Even Plague Quinn couldn't help but look serious when he saw it. The faces of many Marines changed drastically. Even Staff Officer he couldn't help but the wrinkles on his old face deepened a bit. Fujitora smiled and waited for the others, subconsciously nervous, and even wanted to make a move. However, bang! Just at this critical moment, a lotus flower made of two-color flames, just like breaking open tofu, broke open the glutinous ball that had devoured Luo Qiye. The incomparably beautiful two-color fire lotus, after breaking open the glutinous ball, quickly spun, then draw a straight line in the air, leaving behind two flame trails of interlaced colors, flying towards Katakori. The moment the two-color fire lotus appeared, a terrifying and peerless coercion suddenly appeared. Wrong. That's not coercion. That's destruction. This moment, everyone's heart beating wildly. This moment, the hearts of countless pirates are about to jump into their throats. This moment, Staff Officer Crane and the rest of the Marines backed away subconsciously. That beautiful and exquisite two-color fire lotus flew towards Katakuchin at an extremely fast speed. A vigorous figure of Luo Qiye appeared, and the coat behind the boy was moving without any wind. He couldn't even look at the mace above his head that was spinning at a high speed and smashed at him with an earth-shattering force. Don't take a look. Because two-color Buddha's Wrath Lotus arrives first. It suddenly appeared in front of Katakori. This moment, Katakori's observation haki suddenly sees a fleeting moment in the future. Death and destruction. In an instant, Katakori forcibly stopped his attacking momentum, and he recklessly retreated backwards rapidly. At the same time, the glutinous balls assimilated on the ground in front of him quickly formed a thick wall of glutinous balls. Try to block the two-color Buddha Wrath Lotus. Boom. When the terrifying two-color fire lotus touched the first glutinous ball wall, a big explosion occurred. The terrifying explosion instantly resounded throughout the entire island, and resounded between heaven and earth. The earth-shattering explosion swept everything. The ground collapsed in an instant. The glutinous ball wall used by Katakori was even more like a block of tofu, smashed one after another, all burst into pieces, disappeared, and the terrifying air wave rushed out like a tsunami. The two-color flame that caused the explosion, like a fire dragon, rolled out in all directions. Advertisement. Between heaven and earth, only two colors left. Over there is the two-color flame of the Buddha's Wrath Fire Lotus. Horror to Ultimate's Big Bang. Attack the entire island 46 in an instant. Everyone is going backwards. The strong are retreating. Keep away. And Katakori, who was the center of the explosion, was engulfed by the two-color flame and explosion the moment the explosion sounded. The members of the Big Mom pirate group behind him were collectively like tofu, killed in the explosion, and even most of their bodies were melted away. I don't know how many pirates died. Even the many pirates of the Beast's pirates on the other side, at this moment, are also doomed. Alas, one by one, the horrible explosion swept them, causing heavy casualties. After countless pirates were swept by the explosion, they were still alive, at the moment of being engulfed by two-color flames. Chi-Chi screamed. At the same time, the body keeps melting. The power of this two-color flame is not something they can compete with at this level. The power is terrifying to the level of destruction. Even if possessed by armament haki, he would still be burned alive. This is the strange fire from the fighting spirit world. The two-color Buddha Fury Lotus developed by the Son of Luck in the world of fighting spirit. An open existence. Boom. Horrible explosions continue. Like a doomsday disaster, Plague Quinn has already escaped. 3.7 Even a big pirate as tough as him, at this moment, can only run away. And the many Marines led by Staff Officer Crane are not much better. Even with Aokiji's frozen fruit ability to resist tenaciously, trying to block the flames, stop the explosion, and save the Marines, his ice seal was still being exploded, and the Marines were also swept away, screaming one after another. The members of the Don Quixote family led by Doflamingo were also mercilessly hit by the explosion. Even if Doflamingo uses the awakening power of string fruit to create a large number of ground waves, it cannot completely resist this terrifying big explosion. Doomsday to destroy all. Come down on Island 46 of the Sabayati Archipelago. At this moment, the island that had gone through the great battle was completely unable to sustain itself, and it kept collapsing and collapsing with a bang, and even the seawater broke through the ground and rushed up. Islands. Totally destroyed. 151. There is nothing in the world that the Buddha's Wrath Fire Lotus cannot solve. If there is, then come another one. Advertisement. Boom. A big explosion swept across the entire island 46. Everyone is running away. Everyone's scalp is numb. Everyone is terrified. Everyone is at this moment, feeling endless panic and horror. The aftermath of the terrifying explosion is still there, and the earth-shattering vibrations are still continuing. The destruction and sinking of Island 46 has implicated the nearby islands, and many islands on the Sabayati archipelago have erupted like earthquakes. Whether it's pirates or marine, at this moment, they were all shocked to the extreme. The Marines rely on Aokiji and Suru staff to join forces and escape from death, but there are also many sacrifices. Many pirates who had already been away from the battlefield escaped by chance. The members of the Don Quixote family led by Doflamingo, even with the power of Doflamingo's string fruit awakening, assimilated the ground, created a wave-filled wall, and covered armament Haki, were still seriously injured. Torrebel and others coughed up blood one after another. Even Doflamingo himself was bleeding from the corner of his mouth, and he couldn't stop it. If it wasn't for his cold personality that made him not allow himself to cough up blood, Doflamingo would probably have been vomiting blood by now. They were too close to the Big Bang. Hurt Terror 24. Totally unstoppable, and those camera phone bugs, before they were destroyed, took pictures of the big explosion of the two-color fire lotus, and spread it all over the world. As for Morgans and others, this time they will not be so lucky. All were blown away by the Big Bang. Terrible. The picture of the Big Bang was spread out, causing the shock of the pirate groups all over the world almost at the same time. New World. The Whitebeard pirates aboard the Moby DK. Many of the captains showed expressions of shock one after another, their eyes widened one by one, and their eyes were full of surprise. Luo Qiye, is he, hiding his strength? I clearly remember that when he came to challenge us, he wasn't so scary. Could it be that he has grown up in such a short period of time? But, it's only a dozen days since he left us. How could he grow to such a terrifying extent? If it's not growth, how can it be explained? Did he really hide his strength back then? The power of this two-color fire lotus, are you kidding me? Father, what do you think? Many cadres of the Whitebeard pirates exclaimed. Advertisement. Whitebeard himself also shrank his pupils suddenly. He fought with Luo Qiye for a short time, but he also roughly detected Luo Qiye's true strength. However, when this scene appears, Whitebeard questioned his own judgment. Did he doubt his previous judgment? It was all wrong. How wrong? Guy Luo Qiye is really amazing. Whitebeard took a sip of his wine suddenly, and laughed out loud. Goop. I really want to have a real fight with him, a hearty fight. However, this moment, the captain of the first team on the side, Marco the Phoenix, was full of anxiety. The brows are all wrinkled into a ball. Because what he thought of was not Luo Qiye's power that shocked the world, but Luo Qiye's previous prophecy. Luo Qiye's increasingly incomprehensible strength also means that the prophecy that time is more likely to be true. Could it be? Will it really be like Luo Qiye predicted that a big war will break out soon enough to destroy the Whitebeard pirates? Marco is worried. Other big forces in New World were also shocked. What kind of flame is this? That lotus flower with a destructive aura has such terrifying destructive power that the entire island ceases to exist. It's really terrifying. The boundless destructive power makes everyone avoid it. What is the true strength of Luo Qiye? One of the desert generals of the Four Emperors Big Mom pirates was trampled to death. Destroyed Island 46 of the Sabayati archipelago with one move. What kind of monster is this? To such a degree of horror. Two-color fire lotus, so terrifying. On the Sabayati archipelago, the escaped pirates gasped and exclaimed at the same time. The pirates of the two Four Emperors pirate groups, who are in the center of the battle, are not so lucky. Whether it is the members of the Big Mom pirates or the Beasts pirates, they all suffered heavy casualties under this terrifying explosion. Especially Charlotte Katakuri, who bears the brunt of it. Even though he used the awakening power of Paramesha Nuo fruit to continuously create a wall of glutinous balls to block the destructive power of the Buddha's Wrath Lotus, he himself was still seriously injured until he vomited blood. Island number 45, which was affected by the terrorist explosion, has only half of the island left at this moment. The ground has collapsed, and the number of trees has been destroyed. The breath of destruction pervades the sky above the island. Many pirates in the Big Mom pirate group are breathing on this half of the island at this time. Advertisement. Are you all right? Charlotte Cracker, who is also a 4-star desert general, looked at Katakuri beside her and asked a question. Just now he also helped Katakuri block a lot of damage with the ability of Paramesha biscuit fruit. I can't die. Katakuri's voice was low and he was panting heavily, his eyes were scarlet, staring at the position of the center of the Big Bang, where should be the position of Luo Qiye. Let's join forces. Plague Quinn suddenly appeared. His body had turned into a half-zone form. The huge Brachiosaurus body and huge mechanical dragon wrist gave off an astonishing destructive aura. This is a modified wrist that can release laser-level destructive power. His people the first to speak, the voice is cold and cruel. We join hands. Today, Luo Qiye must be killed. He didn't help Katakuri block any explosion damage just now. 633 Turn around and leave immediately. Turn around and leave without hesitation. And at this time, Plague Quinn is the only strong player in his prime. On the contrary, both Katakuri and Cracker have injuries to varying degrees. Team up. This moment. That was a boy. There is nothing in the world that the Buddha's Wrath Fire Lotus can't solve. If there is, then come another one. Cracker wanted to say no. Phew. A figure, from the sky above the aftermath of the billowing flames, the shuttle appeared. Buzz. Everyone changed their faces. An incomparably exquisite two-color fire lotus appeared in Luo Qiye's palm. It twirled around, lifelike, delicate and beautiful, but with the appearance of the two-color fire lotus, an aura of destruction once again shrouded the sky and the earth. Shen Lang is handsome, heroic. Cracker never thought that Katakuri would not refuse to join forces for the first time. The second brother Katakuri he knows will never join hands with others. Like a young emperor, stepping on a flying sword, Kamui overlooks everything under his feet. He laughed, and his voice resounded through many nearby islands. Delusional to kill me. Above the sky, after all, he had explicitly rejected Plague Quinn before. Bufin tells you a fact. 152. Suppress me with one hand, just take a breath. Open black lens bracket seek full order close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Open black lens bracket ding, close black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have succeeded in pretending to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 35,555 points for pretending to be aggressive, close black lens bracket. The pretense point actually dropped. It seems that it is because of too many casualties, right? Luo Qiye is like a god, looking at the many enemies in front of him, his eyes revealed endless killing intent. Even if you join forces, you will not be my opponent. Luo Qiye, it's really crazy. Kill, boom. Only half of Island 45 is left, and there are no more superfluous words for the three major Four Emperors pirates, Plague Quinn, Charlotte Cracker, and Charlotte Katakuri. Rush to Luo Qiye. The terrible war is about to start. The ground is shaking. Like an earthquake. Terrible. The three most powerful figures, with the determination to kill, charged towards Luo Qiye with thunderous force. This is the real battle of killing. Qiye, Fujitora Yishao and Momosugi stood up almost at the same time. They had been fighting beside Luo Qiye to prevent other powerful people from attacking suddenly. But the Beast's pirates and the Big Mom pirates teamed up and shot at the same time, kill it. Naturally, they can no longer hold the line like before. However, Luo Qiye did not intend to let them make a move at all. It's okay, you keep an eye on the others, just the three of them, and me alone, that's enough. Not only did Luo Qiye not let Fujitora Smile and Momosugi make a move, he even advanced alone, and took the initiative to fight the three terrifying figures that were rushing towards him. Let me see, the three deputy emperors join forces, can there be any success? What kind of destructive power? Luo Qiye laughed out loud. The two-color Buddha Fury Lotus in his hand suddenly threw it out. The terrifying two-color Buddha's Wrath Lotus, with a destructive aura, enveloped the sky and the earth, and shot towards the three figures like a nuclear bomb. Advertisement. Without thinking, the three jumped up almost at the same time, rushing into the air, avoiding the terrifying fire lotus of destruction. Boom boom boom. The three figures leapt into the air, and suddenly exploded with power, like a rocket propelling, rushing towards Luo Qiye. The sound of sonic boom resounded between the heaven and the earth, shaking the heavens and earth, like three boundless and terrifying thunderbolts, blasting towards Luo Qiye below. This is a must-kill trend. The terrifying power carried by the three of them is enough to destroy this island. Extremely scary, boundless amazing, especially the ancient Brachiosaurus transformed by Plague Quinn, which is the deputy emperor in its heyday, the terrifying plague, the huge ancient species, the body that can block the sky, with boundless coercion, suddenly kill it. As horrible as it can be. As shocking as you want. To say that it is ruining the world is not exaggerated at all. This moment, but everyone who witnessed this scene couldn't help but change their faces. Those pirates who escaped in horror couldn't help watching the battle with binoculars from a distance, but even though the distance was so far and they needed to use binoculars to watch the battle, they could still feel the terrifying aura released by the three figures in midair. It's too scary. The three deputy emperors joined forces to attack and kill. This kind of terrifying power, even if the four emperors came in person, I'm afraid it would be difficult to resist, right? This is the real pinnacle battle. Luo Qiye, does he want to face the three vice-emperors alone? What kind of courage is this? I'm afraid that Luo Qiye won't be able to stop the joint attack of the three deputy emperors. This devastating attack, even the real four emperors, may not be able to parry it. The aura of destruction is too terrifying. The distance is so far away. I still feel my heart beating, my scalp is numb, and my heart is trembling. I don't even dare to look directly. The three deputy emperors of the two four emperors pirate groups, with the determination to kill, how many people in this world can completely block it? I don't know how many people are exclaiming. Even though they were far away and watched the battle with binoculars, they still felt terrified and their scalps were numb. The sense of terror makes them cold from toes to scalp. But the Big Mom pirates and the Beast's pirates, those pirates who survived by chance, all showed long-lost expectations and smiles at this moment. That is a refreshing smile that kills the enemy. Luo Qiye, the monster that weighs on their heads. Finally, he will be killed by the cooperation of the three deputy emperors. As the four emperors pirates, how have they ever been humiliated like this? Advertisement. The two four emperors pirate groups were suppressed by a mere 10-year-old kid, and he alone blocked 1,000,000 soldiers, suppressing the two four emperors pirate groups with one hand. There has never been such a thing. The humiliation suffered by the 2-4 Emperor's pirates today is unprecedented. Such a great shame, they can't breathe, they can't sit still. This moment, seeing that the 3 deputy emperors joined forces to finally get rid of the mountain that was pressing on their heads and wash away their shame, they finally smiled. Kill him. Boom until there is no bones left, and smash into residue. Kill Luo Qiye, the regiment is worthy of the dead boss Jack, as well as the dead boss Yan Calamity and explosive boss. Luo Qiye is not dead, we can't sleep peacefully. We must kill Luo Qiye, avenge the shame, and wash away all the shame. Those who are our enemies, even monsters, will be smashed to pieces. This moment, the Big Mom pirate group and the pirates of the Beast's pirates, who were lucky enough to survive, spoke one after another. They have suppressed it for too long. Once this force appears, the sky and the earth will change color, everything will be silent, it is extremely sacred, as if the thousands of things between the heaven and the earth, with this force, they are nothing more than mediocre. All this is a long story, but in fact it only happened in a very short moment. Suddenly, a mysterious and sacred power was released from Luo Yi. Luo Qiye's observation haki has been upgraded to the top level. As if everything was as they expected. Seeing Luo Qiye, who was avoiding the 2-color Buddha Wrath Lotus by the 3 of them, not only was he not the slightest bit surprised, he even showed a smile. Suppress me with one hand, just take a breath. Don't think that if the 3 join hands, they can fight against me. When the 3 figures slammed down light covering the sky and the sun. What are you kidding? Dodge your own destruction attack. However, the top observation haki has surpassed the pinnacle of the world. Your value has almost come to an end. It's time for this farce to end, and you, naturally, should be sent to hell to repent. Even knows Zhao as category's observation haki, who can foresee the short future, is under Luo Qiye. The moment you see hope, it feels like dawn. Luo Qiye raised his head slightly, and the magic knife 1,000 blades in his hand emitted faint blue light and dark purple patterned light. It's too late to say it. 153. Holy Spirit Sword Art Sword 23. Seek full order. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Holy Spirit Sword Art Sword 23. Emerge with divine power. Envelop this side of heaven and earth. All of a sudden, everyone is in a state of stagnation in time. Time. Stopped. Everyone stands still on the spot. Can't move. Everything stands still. Everything stands still. This moment, the 3 powerhouses who swooped down from the sky to attack and kill Luo Qiye together were completely stopped at this moment. They can't fight back. Can't even defend. This is Sword 23. Luo Qiye out of body. Immune to all physical attacks. Like a god, once the Sword 23 is cast, wherever the spirit god goes, everything will be still, let the spirit god slaughter it, and it will be half human and half god when it is cast. This seems to be beyond the human way of swordsmanship, a sword move that should not exist in the world. No different from the gods. Holding a long sword in his hand, the young god charged forward with a single sword, killing the 3 big pirates who were stationary above the sky. At this moment, Luo Qiye is invincible. One sword. Just one sword. Luo Qiye, who was out of his body, pierced through the first pirate, Charlotte Cracker. One of the 4 desert generals who offered a reward of 860 million berry, his heart was pierced in an instant. There is no way to fight back. Can't even move an inch. Charlotte Cracker didn't even see her 380's heart being pierced, he just saw Luo Qiye, like a god, rushing to the sky and stabbing him with a sword. Next moment, Luo Qiye suddenly appeared in front of Plague Quinn. This ancient modified Brachiosaurus, which had turned into a colossal monster that covered the sky and the sun, was also powerless to fight back, and its huge body could not resist half a point of damage for him. Silently, Luo Qiye a sword. The light shines. The silence was terrifying. This sword, like a laser, pierced through the huge body of Brachiosaurus. The light penetrated Quinn's giant body, and all the bones and flesh were pierced. Advertisement. I didn't even find the heart position. Luo Qiye was slightly surprised. He pierced through the giant Brachiosaurus with a sword, and found that he couldn't find the Brachiosaurus heart, but it doesn't matter. If you can't find the heart, then I will just tear you apart. Let you die completely. Luo Qiye swung his long sword again. The light shines. Through the sky, shine between heaven and earth. Still, silently, everything stands still. Only the sword light is flickering. Quinn stared helplessly at Luo Qiye in front of him, swung the long sword, and slashed out with a sword. The light was brilliant, very dazzling, but he couldn't move an inch, couldn't close his eyes, and couldn't block the sword. Can only watch helplessly. One sword. The giant-like ancient Brachiosaurus was completely dismembered, neatly cut open from the Brachiosaurus head, and divided into 2 halves, neat and tidy. Duration is a bit short. Luo Qiye wanted to turn around and strike Katakuri with another sword strike. Suddenly felt a sense of tiredness. The energy required for the primordial spirit to leave the body is still too large and mysterious to be estimated. And in order to kill Plague Quinn, Luo Qiye spent more time. So that the time for Sword 23 is up. The primordial spirit cannot live outside the human body for a long time. No problem. The moment Luo Qiye's primordial spirit returns to his body, the divine power of Sword 23 is released, and everything revives, time resumes flowing. Sky. Blood rains down. Death isn't even here yet. The moment time resumed, Charlotte Cracker, who had been pierced through his heart, suddenly looked down at his own heart. There, A ray of light came through from behind, and his body was pierced through his heart, but he still had time to die. Until he saw blood flying out of the sword hole. Charlotte Cracker just realized her own death. He suddenly widened his eyes. Have no idea what's going on. He didn't know why his heart was pierced suddenly, and the shadow of death enveloped him in an instant, without giving him more time to think about this problem, because death is coming. Before dying, Charlotte Cracker saw Plague Quinn above her. The huge Brachiosaurus body covering the sky. A thin line of light appeared on the whole body. Could it be that Quinn's huge body was cut in half? At the moment before death, there were only two questions left in Liege's mind. Advertisement. Unfortunately, no one answered him. And Quinn, who was at the end of the three, that is, at the top of the sky, felt a chill at the moment when Sword 23 ended, and at the moment when time recovered and lost. That's right, not pain, but icy coolness. Because the pain needs to be transmitted through the nerves, but the coolness doesn't need it, it's just an instinctive feeling after the body is cut open. His huge Brachiosaurus body, it doesn't belong to him anymore. The Brachiosaurus, huge neck wanted to lower its head to look at its own body. After Luo Qiye's sword just passed, what happened to his body? Why did he have such a feeling from the head to the tail? However, accompanied by the moment when he lowered his head. The head of Quinn's Brachiosaurus was split apart, and the neat two halves of the head split into two sides. Even before his brain had time to react, he stared at two longan eyes as big as copper bells, filled with shocked, inexplicable and unbelievable, as well as a terrified look. In this pair of dragon eyes, the reflection shows that the huge body is neatly divided into two. This moment, Advent. Quinn never imagined that before the powerful attack in his full power could fall on Luo Qiye, he would be gone. He couldn't figure it out. What happened to Luo Qiye's sword just now? I just felt that there was a sacred and irresistible force that stopped him, and then I could only watch Luo Qiye swinging the long sword. Before Quinn's brain died, he could only think of Luo Qiye's radiant sword. What exactly is this? How did he get cut in half again? Why can't I even have the strength to resist? Your own skin and flesh are the strongest defense in this world. Why didn't I even feel a little bit, and my body was cut in half? Can't figure it out. It is also impossible to imagine the mysterious and incomparable sacred power. Coming with a bang. Plague Quinn and Charlotte Cracker died almost at the same time. The bodies of the two fell from midair. And Charlotte Katakuri, who was in full observation Haki state, also knew the situation of the two people who died behind him. At this moment, Katakuri's scalp was numb and his heart was jumping. The sense of fear is beyond his control, it hits every cell in his body. What kind of power is it? And the many forces and many pirates who saw the result at this moment in the distance also widened their eyes instantly, and each eye was as big as an ink fountain, staring at this unbelievable result in a daze. 154. I, Luo Qiye, seek to fight against the strongest opponent, not someone like you. Advertisement. What kind of ability is this? My god, are you sure this is not a joke? What kind of ability did Luo Qiye use just now? Why do the three powerhouses, including Plague Quinn, have no room to resist in front of him? Like fish on a chopping board, to be slaughtered by Luo Qiye. It's terrifying. Could this be Luo Qiye's true strength? I can't believe that this world has such terrifying abilities. I must be dazzled. Even an existence as powerful as the four emperors, it is impossible to let the three vice-emperor level powerhouses be slaughtered without any resistance. But everything in front of me is real. Shock. Total shock. As shocked as you can be. Shocked beyond measure. A terrifying ability that makes everyone's scalp tingle. This moment, everyone's pupils dilated, staring at the flesh and corpses falling from midair, their hair stood on end, their heartbeats accelerated, their blood rushed rapidly, their scalps felt numb, and their toes felt cold. Such ability, as if time and space are frozen by him. Everything. Let him dominate. Aokiji, who is Admiral of Headquarters, is also terrified at this moment. His lazy demeanor has completely disappeared, replaced by boundless astonishment and extreme seriousness. Without any exaggeration, at this moment, Aokiji is like a life and death enemy. Don't dare to say a word. And the many Marines around were even more horrified to ultimate. Even Staff Officer Crane was also terrified and horrified like never before. She lived most of her life. I have seen countless abilities above this mysterious sea. Whether it is the strong one in the Roger era of One Piece, or the legendary Rocks era. She has seen it all. Even so, she has never seen an ability like Luo Qiye's before her. Too scary. Such a boy is not something we can have. At this moment, Staff Crane made a decision. She looked at Luo Qiye and Momoshiki behind him, and said to herself, Gion, I only hope that you made a decision that you don't regret, otherwise. It doesn't seem to matter. This moment, the strength of Luo Qiye. Let Crane's staff give up to persuade Momoshiki. Pluton Rayleigh on the other side, at this moment, is just as horrified. As the left and right arm of One Piece Roger, he has sailed the entire Grand Line and reached the final island of the sea powerhouse. Advertisement. At this time, he was also terrified and horrified by it. It seems that such an ability should not appear in this world. Rayleigh said something no one could believe. Shaki beside him was even more shocked, looking at Luo Qiye with his old eyes, with a slightly horrified expression, and said to himself, I have never received information about such abilities, the little devil from the Red Hair Pirates. Where the hell is it? Sacred. Farther away. There are more pirates who are terrified. When seeing the death of Plague Quinn and Charlotte Cracker, how many people were horrified. Don't even dare to stop on this island. Even Fujitora, who was a companion, smiled, and was shocked at this time. Although he is blind, he can still see this scene through observation haki. What kind of ability is this? Why is it so strong? Fujitora smiled in surprise. On the other hand, Momosuke bit her red lips tightly with her silver teeth. She looked at Luo Qiye from a distance, her expression became apprehensive, maybe he can really bring another light to this world. All this is a long story. It actually happens only for an extremely short period of time. It's too late to say it. Luo Qiye used the sword 23 to Plague Quinn and Cracker in an instant, and his soul returned to his body. He held the magic knife Chinbla, and suddenly looked up, looking at Katakuri who fell down in midair with a look of horror. I can kill all existences like you with just one sword. One sword. Luo Qiye raised his hand. Another sword. The purple light instantly soared. The sword energy that seemed to be able to cut through the sky burst out suddenly and slashed out. This moment, Katakuri, who was originally brave and invincible, suddenly had heart palpitations. FTE. Cowardly. I chose to avoid the edge temporarily. Don't dare to confront Luo Qiye head on. His body flew sideways, avoiding the sword's slash, and he flew sideways for an unknown distance. Hoo. Katakuri landed in the distance, gasping for breath, staring fixedly at Luo Qiye in the distance, cold sweat dripping from his forehead, his whole body tensed up, not daring to take a moment carelessly, like the enemy of life and death. Asking for flowers. Don't even dare to say a word. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have successfully pretended to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 66,666 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Luo Qiye himself did not think of it. This move of 23 swords directly allowed him to gain more than 60,000 pretense points. Really, handsome and amazingly powerful killing moves can harvest more pretense points. It's a pity that this trick consumes a lot of money and cannot be used without limit. Luo Qiye regretted this. Even so, this trick already exists at the super bug level. Luo Qiye glanced at the pirates in the distance. All the pirates swept by Luo Qiye's eyes subconsciously took a few steps back, their bodies trembled subconsciously, and their expressions turned pale, even the few pirates who survived by claiming to be supernovas subconsciously head up. Don't dare to look directly at Luo Qiye's eyes. Because Luo Qiye's strength has completely crushed them with absolute momentum. Stomped them down completely. Luo Qiye became a powerful existence that they could not even imagine. That is Kaido, the king of beasts. It's simply not something they can resist. That move, Luo Qiye's eyes swept across, like two lightsabers, making everyone tremble with fear and dare not look directly. Captain Quinn. Luo Qiye's eyes fell on the body of the Plague Quinn, who fell below without a whole body, but he heard him chuckle softly. I, Luo Qiye, seek to fight against the strongest opponent, not someone like you. In the next life, I hope that when you challenge me, you can also call your captain. For those beasts pirates who survived by luck, their feet were weak, their bodies were trembling, and the cold air swept through every cell in their bodies. But at this moment, Luo Qiye's gaze, like divine fire, looked at Katakuri not far away. None of them are terrifying moves that they can contend with. It's time. As soon as this sentence comes out, is it really an existence that can kill the captain? They have realized one truth. At last, Luo Qiye, never lie. Every trick of Luo Qiye. Wrong. 155. Second card 2. The difference in strength will make you understand that I am not in the same dimension as you. Advertisement. Katakuri didn't flinch, and pulled the scarf around his neck. His excellent observation haki could sense that the man opposite was a very strong man, but as the captain of the Big Mom Pirates, his pride does not allow himself to shrink back when facing the strong. He said to Luo Qiye, I know you are strong, but I must stop you here. After saying that, his body trembled, and he rushed towards Luo Qiye fiercely, his hands melted into glutinous rice, and smashed towards the ground, flowing glutinous rice balls. In an instant, the whole ground turned into white glutinous rice, as if he was trying to Luo Qiye sucked it in. And Luo Qiye stepped on his left foot, and the whole white glutinous rice burst. Katakuri had obviously expected this, and then shouted at Luo Qiye, the new Otuan is singing. Countless donuts appeared out of thin air, and huge arms rushed out of the round hole in the middle of the donuts, rushing towards Chuan Xiaoyi at a speed exceeding that of ordinary people. 23. Zili. Facing the huge arm that was attacking at high speed, Luo Qiye smiled slightly. I respect you for having the courage to face me, but the difference in strength will make you understand that I am not in the same dimension as you. I saw Luo Qiye waved his hand, and all the arms protruding from the donut in all directions were shattered. This is impossible. Katakuri's eyes widened, and the attack blessed by his armament haki was crushed effortlessly by the opponent. This shocked Katakuri's heart, and his legs trembled a little. This was the first time in his life that he felt fear. The man in front of him gave him more pressure than all his previous opponents put together. Even more. However, this also inspired Katakuri's warrior instinct, and fear and excitement were intertwined in an instant. His fists turned into glutinous rice, and he waved at Luo Qiye who was not far away. Luo Qiye still didn't make any moves, but was passively defending. Rather than saying that he was defending, it was better to say that he wanted to see what other tricks Katakuri had. Bird rice cake. Katakuri shouted, stretching out a white rice cake from his left hand and flying towards Luo Qiye. This is a trick that even Marine Admiral may be trapped. Kotaku thought to himself, he just wanted to try his best to delay the time, at least wait until other people come to deal with Luo Qiye. And Luo Qiye also stretched out a finger in the face of the huge rice cake flying in, and the moment the finger touched the rice cake shattered. A very clever idea. Luo Qiye smiled and said, but fighting is not just about cleverness. In the face of absolute strength, all cleverness is false. He walked slowly towards Katakuri, and said as he walked, as a fighter, I should give you the greatest respect. I will let you understand my strength, Luo Qiye. Before the words fell, a huge gust of wind rushed towards Katakuri with Luo Qiye's swung arms. Advertisement. Katakuri retreated for the first time. With his hands crossed in front of his head, he stared at Luo Qiye with gritted teeth. At this time, Katakuri's white scarf had already come off, revealing his horrifying fangs. But in the face of life and death, Katakuri obviously doesn't pay attention to whether his face at the moment is seen by others. I was not born Luo Qiye, pirates are like a long night. Luo Qiye said in a low voice, I respect your ability, it is also the first time I have met an opponent, and I will do my best. After saying that, Luo Qiye exerted force with his hands, and the strong wind swept across Luo Qiye's knife grip, as if he wanted to squeeze the air around Luo Qiye dry. Katakuri was also blinded by the gust of wind at this time, he couldn't believe that the other party showed his true strength at this moment. He forcibly stabilized his figure and awakened his fruit ability. At this moment, he knew that if he didn't use the strongest move, his life would come to an end here. Katakuri shouted, dripping rain sticky rice. 9-head rice cake. The glutinous rice is singing. He used countless moves in one brain. Huge arms wrapped in countless armed colors, rice cakes, and glutinous rice all rushed towards Luo Qiye. At this moment, if others are watching, they will definitely feel that Luo Qiye is at a disadvantage. After all, the opponent's skills are majestic and earth-shattering, while Luo Qiye is just quietly holding the knife in his hand. After a long time, just when the opponent's skills were about to hit Luo Qiye drew out the magic knife 1,000 blades from his waist, and the broken blades of the magic knife emitted bursts of purple light. Luo Qiye said softly, cut me. Then he waved the magic knife Shinran in his hand vigorously. A huge light beam flew out from the blade, first exploded, shattering countless arms that were about to attack Luo Qiye, and then condensed into a small light spot, which rushed towards Katakuri at high speed. Shocked, Katakuri sneered and said, I thought you were so capable, but you just blocked my attack. Luo Qiye shook his head not far away. Isn't it said that people who are about to die have good words? The Buddha is angry with the fire lotus. Buzz. A powerful aura enveloped the entire island in an instant. A small two-color flame lotus appeared. Like a small spot of light, quickly drifting towards Katakuri. Exclamation mark. Advertisement. It was just such a small spot of light, but it exploded the moment it touched Katakuri, accompanied by Katakuri's shock. The huge shock wave even shattered Katakuri and Island 45 together. The entire island and Katakuri were shattered into pieces. No longer exists. Katakuri's loss wasn't what shocked me the most. Crane said, didn't you see that the entire island of 453.4 was turned into powder? Congratulations to host, you have successfully pretended to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 55,555 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. What's that man's name? After all, the fragments of Island 45 drifted away with the wind. Not even Katakuri. Don Quixote Doflamingo, wearing pink plush and sunglasses, said on Island 45. And Luo Qiye just said lightly to the pirates who were looking at each other, tell your boss, the emperor of this world, is back. When everyone was discussing, they saw the figure of a man shining from the distant sun. The man's sword was flying in the air, and the sun was dazzling. The pirates squinted their eyes to see the other's appearance clearly. At this time, Luo Qiye was standing in the air. You are very strong, but the gap between you and me is the entire Milky Way. Aokiji said to Staff Officer Crane on the other side, but Crane was serious at this time. Katakuri is dead. Just like that, Luo Qiye, single-handedly, swept the two beasts pirates. Under the four emperors, he is invincible. The entire number 45 island has been shattered. The pirates' onlookers talked a lot. You said it wasn't sunk. It was broken. Luo Qiye didn't have time to check, but a teleport appeared on Island 44. All the people watching the battle stared wide-eyed, they were shocked by Luo Qiye's powerful combat power. At this time, some powerhouses on Island 44 have already felt the disappearance of Katakuri's breath, and others have more or less escaped from Island 45. The news. Can Marine Admiral smash an island into pieces? Katakuri is dead. 156. I said there is light. Then it will last forever. Seek full order. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. The news of Luo Qiye's appearance on Island 45 reached the ears of all parties. Come yet. Is this the one who swept the two pirate groups, the one who was invincible under the four emperors? So you're so young. In fact, even if it didn't spread to the eyes of all parties, everyone on Island 44 has seen the man flying with the sword. Luo Qiye looked down at the crowd, as if searching for something. Should he be weak? He just fought against two pirate groups in four emperors, so he should have no energy left to fight again. But it doesn't look like he's very tired. No matter how strong the strong man is, he will gradually be unable to do what he wants under repeated fierce attacks, but Luo Qiye is different. His strength lies there. To be honest, against the 3 disasters and category, he only played 100 times. 10% of combat power, this is the strength of different dimensions. Are you tired of killing 10 ants? No, so at this time, Luo Qiye's 24 stamina is also enough to spare, causing a bigger storm on the 44th island. The news of Luo Qiye's appearance made the people on Island 44 tense at the moment. Many people feel that some people even have a glimmer of expectation, wanting to see what kind of storm he can set off on this island. Hey, things are getting interesting. Doflamingo's stern smile is a little arrogant. This is Doflamingo, even if Katakuri and the entire no. 45 island are destroyed by Luo Qiye, he is confident that he can fight with Luo Qiye World War I. No one can see Doflamingo's slightly funny eyes under the sunglasses, staring at Luo Qiye in the distance. He must be very tired. We killed him while he was tired. Revenge for Katakuri. Revenge for Katakuri. We are members of the 4 Emperors Pirates. Fight. Beasts Pirates and the rest of the Big Mom Pirates picked up their weapons and pointed directly at Luo Qiye in the sky. And Luo Qiye is looking at the dazzling cold light coming from various weapons under the shining of the sun. Advertisement. Hey, let me tell you, Luo Qiye said coldly, it's too dazzling. Then he waved his hand. The powerful palm wind swept across the earth, knocking away a group of pirates below. However, the background of the 4 Emperors pirate group is that they can dominate in New World, even if they are shocked by Luo Qiye's powerful strength. But the Big Mom pirate group and the Beasts Pirates, 2 4 Emperors joined forces, and there are still many pirates. And Luo Qiye, standing in the air, watched more and more pirates gather. He smiled slightly. Even if the strength of the 2 major pirate groups does not have those cadres, the other people alone are enough to cause headaches. Aokiji iced a glass of wine, took a sip, and looked straight at Yujian flying in the sky. Luo Qiye. It seems that it is still a bit difficult to fight against the 4 Emperors' 2 pirate groups. Aokiji turned around and said to the crane behind him. He replied without expression. Not necessarily, this child is invincible under the 4 Emperors. Maybe not only under the 4 Emperors. Oh, Aokiji changed his cynical face and said with a gloomy face, I really want to fight him. Crane shook her head. As Marine's the resourceful general, she knew very well the pros and cons of going to war with Luo Qiye at this moment. She knew very well that Luo Qiye must try her best to win him over to her side, even if he didn't belong to Marine. At least let him not confront Marine. Although the previous Shichibukai plan failed. Aokiji seemed relieved, and turned to the sun lounger beside him, pulling off the blindfold. In his heart, the outcome has been decided. Luo Qiye closed his eyes slightly in the air, watching the countless pirates below him staring at him viciously. Jail Lang said. How can a mayfly regret a tree? Then he wanted to use the most pretentious way to end this battle. What would he use? Sword 23. Black coffin. Not pretentious enough. No matter how strong he is, he still has a limit, otherwise why would he keep entangled with us here? He just fought against so many top fighters. He must be tired too. Little ones, go all out. Before the words fell, the body of the leader who was still shouting just now exploded. Everyone was shocked, because no one present saw Luo Qiye make a move. Everyone stared dumbfounded at the boy who was digging his ears in the sky. Did I say it was too noisy? I haven't finished talking yet. The young man said coldly. Since you are looking for death, then I don't have to hide it. Advertisement. Luo Qiye didn't hold back his hand anymore, he stretched out his right hand, and countless whirlwinds condensed in his hand. Amid the shock of everyone, a 3-color flame ignited in the palm of his hand. The flames that cover the sky and the sun, when the 3 flames intersect, even the sun's rays are not so dazzling. Immediately afterwards, the flame condensed instantly, and condensed into a crystal clear lotus flower in Luo Yi's right hand. He tried the 2-color Buddha's Wrath Fire Lotus just now, and felt that its power was not as strong as he expected. Now, what kind of power will this Buddha's Wrath Fire Lotus condensed with 3-color flames have? Luo Qiye thought about it, and lightly threw his right hand forward. Boom. With a slight smile. I found you, Doflamingo. Doflamingo's hair and the feather coat on his body were blown behind him by the aftermath of the explosion. The afterglow of the explosion made the pink sunglasses more vivid. Then it will last forever. There was another loud bang, and the sun's light was finally blocked by the 3-color Buddha's Wrath Lotus. And his face was even more gloomy as he gritted his teeth and looked at Luo Qiye. The Big Mom Pirates and the Beasts Pirates, 2 major pirate groups that can dominate in New World. Today, countless crew members died in front of one person. 200 according to later reports, this lotus-shaped explosion could even be seen in East Blue. Boom. Here, I said there is light. Luo Qiye pointed in the air, and the shock wave of the ruins flying in front of him stopped abruptly when there was only a gap between his fingers. The lotus fell to the ground very fast, and the sound of the explosion reached the ears of everyone on Island 45 earlier than the light. He also froze in place. Didn't he just destroy Island 45? Countless people were shocked by this boy, and a sentence kept ringing in countless people's minds. Aokiji was also awakened by the monstrous explosion. This is impossible. He didn't rest, didn't stop, but instead used more terrifying strength than before, blasting Island 44 into the air. Luo Ranye also turned his head suddenly, as if the cheetah had found its prey. Could it be said that the appearance of this young man is to refresh the cognition of ordinary people? 157. Mayflies can never shake a big tree. Doflamingo, die. Advertisement. Run. Run non-stop. Run away from the clutches of this demon. This is what everyone who has seen Luo Qiye's powerful strength is thinking. Even some strong men who watched the battle from the sidelines also had this emotion. At this time, they didn't care about their identities anymore, and countless pirates fled in all directions. In the yellow submarine watching the battle not far away, Trafalgar Law, the leader of the Heart Pirates and one of the supernovas, said to Beppo, the fur bear beside him, let's go, stay away from this place of right and wrong. This kid has given me too much shock. On the Moby DK, Whitebeard drank the huge wine jug in front of him and said with a smile on his face, I didn't expect him to be so strong. At this time, the people around Luo Qiye were running away in all directions. In the eyes of ordinary people, Luo Qiye was like a Shinigami, harvesting their lives all the time. Run. This man, he's more terrifying than the rumors you've heard. Big Mom pirates and Beasts pirates are almost wiped out. Run while you can. There are no more grievances and hatred now. Being alive is the best result. There were a few people standing on the hillside not far away. They didn't run for their lives as nervously as others, but stood in place until a person spoke. Young master, said a man wearing a quilt-like cloak and a pair of small sunglasses, I say. We. The person who spoke was a member of the Don Quixote family, a member of the Special Ability Group, the highest cadre of the Torable Army, the Sticky Fruit Ability user, Torapal. Doflamingo in front of him didn't reply, he already had the answer in his heart, but as one of the Shichibukai, he decided to leave this place of right and wrong as soon as possible, although a major reason for this decision was the strength of Luo Qiye's heaven-defying. The moment Doflamingo turned around, he suddenly frowned, and turned around to meet Luo Qiye who suddenly appeared. Luo Qiye was flying with his sword in the air, looking down at the blonde man in front of him. Seems like he wants to see Doflamingo's eyes through his sunglasses. Is it surprise, fear, or the usual cynicism? Advertisement. The family members around Doflamingo are all facing the enemy, and they are all ready to fight. Luo Qiye swept away coldly, but there was no trace of sugar and by 5. Then he said to Doflamingo, where are you going in such a hurry? Jokery. Doflamingo didn't answer, but Torbal beside him sneered and said, I said, don't think that if you destroy a few islands, we will be afraid of you, he. Luo Qiye ignored Tuo Label's words, but said to Doflamingo coldly, hand over the sugar and by 5, and I can spare your life. Doflamingo's expression was distorted to the extreme at this time. He had seen Luo Qiye's strength, but at the same time, he also had absolute confidence in his ability. Although he may not be able to kill Luo Qiye, there is still a chance to drag him here. She. Doflamingo still had a smile on his face, are you so confident in yourself? Luo Qiye sneered and said, that's how confident I am. Everyone from the Don Quixote family immediately surrounded Doflamingo. Young master, you go first, we hold him. Torable said to Doflamingo. Luo Qiye didn't do anything, but just waited and watched. In the previous incidents, he understood that let the opponent be arrogant first, and then let him perish when the opponent's arrogance reaches the peak, so that he can win the most pretense points. At this moment, a figure has already attacked Luo Qiye. It is the stone fruit ability person in the Don Quixote family, Pika. Pika quickly used her ability to fuse the stones all over her body into one body, and her body became extremely huge. He punched Luo Qiye with a punch. Luo Qiye dodged sideways. Although Pika's skill was huge, it also meant that it was very bulky. When Luo Qiye was about to draw his knife to attack, he caught a glimpse of a figure who seemed to predict his position from the corner of his eye. The person who came as Diamante, the flying fruit ability code named Cube. Sword and long sword. After Diamante transformed the western sword on his waist into a light and fluffy posture like cloth, the moment he was about to touch Luo Qiye, it changed into its original shape. Luo Qiye dodged sideways, flicking away Pika's heavy punch with one hand in a human limit posture, and at the same time dodged Diafunan's long sword. At this moment, an extremely slender figure descended from the sky. It was Dellinger, the cadre of the Don Quixote family. Combination technique. Luo Qiye's eyes were piercing. After dodging this almost fatal combo technique, he stood proudly on the spot again. Advertisement. Doflamingo was a little annoyed. He gritted his teeth and let out a cut. He originally thought that the current situation could at least hold back Luo Qiye's footsteps, but now he saw that Luo Qiye was almost struggling to defend against his family's combo skills, as if he saw the hope of victory. Yes, he fought against so many powerful people before, and destroyed 2 islands, even a bull should have reached the point where his energy is exhausted. Doflamingo calmly analyzed in his heart, although the chance of victory is not great, but it is definitely not impossible, he said secretly. The odds are not 0 anymore, and Doflamingo leaked his signature smile again. He looked at Luo Qiye in the air again. At this time, Luo Qiye was facing the strongest combat power of the Don Quixote family. Hey, let me say, have you reached the limit of your strength? Torable laughed. Dellinger and others beside him also showed strange smiles. It seems that you have made a mistake. Luo Qiye sighed. Could it be, do you think these tickling methods will cause me any harm? Torable smiled coldly when he heard the words. She, you are really stubborn, is it Zhao's? After saying that, he shouted loudly. The goo shooter. Numerous lumps of mucus sprayed out from Torbal's body, rushing towards Luo Qiye. Call out. Pika's heavy fist also came out, and Diamante also pulled out the western sword in his hand and stabbed Luo Qiye. On the other hand, Luo Qiye stood motionless in the face of the combined attack of the Don Quixote family. It's done. Doflamingo smiled more clearly, but at this moment, Luo Qiye's closed eyes suddenly opened, and the monstrous top conqueror's haki burst out. The air seemed to freeze, and Doflamingo was shocked back a few steps by this powerful conqueror's haki. As for the members of the Don Quixote family who were attacking Luo Qiye, they all rolled their eyes and fell to the ground. As I said, the mayfly will never shake the tree. Next, Doflamingo, you will be the one to die. 158. Why do mortals always challenge the glory of the gods? Advertisement. Doflamingo was dumbfounded. He had conqueror's haki, but he also knew that ordinary conqueror's haki would not do harm to these people in his family. But Luo Qiye obviously exceeded his imagination, and it can only be said that his conqueror's haki is just a drop in the bucket compared to Luo Qiye's. After all, he shot immediately, no longer holding back on himself, and directly awakened the ability of his Paramesha string fruit. 16 rounds of sacred bullets, God kills. Doflamingo directly resorted to his strongest move. Countless white threads entangled in armed colors spewed out from the ground. After rushing to the sky, they instantly condensed into 16 strands. Then, these 16 white threads rushed towards Doflamingo with killing intent. Luo Qiye. Where the 16 white lines pass, it can be said that there is no grass growing. Like a sea wave, it devoured everything around it, rushing towards Luo Qiye majestically. Luo Qiye's figure swayed slightly, and 16 giant threads actually penetrated Luo Qiye's body. Doflamingo was taken aback for a moment, and then his face was full of shock. His 16 rounds of sacred bullets, God's killing, used his string fruit's ability to wrap the armed color in it, and then penetrated the enemy at an extremely fast speed. However, at this time, although all 16 white threads penetrated Luo Qiye's body, but Luo Qiye was unscathed, and even yawned twice in a row 157 times under the power of his 16 holy bullets. Is that all you can do? Doflamingo. Luo Qiye's mocking voice slowly reached Doflamingo's ears. Doflamingo looked at the fallen family cadres beside him, and then at Luo Qiye who was still complacent under his own trick. He gritted his teeth in hatred. It pushed me into this situation. Doflamingo gritted his teeth. 16 rounds of holy bullets, God slaying is already his strongest move, but to Luo Qiye, it's like a baby, I don't even bother to smash it. What a shame. Doflamingo stared viciously at Luo Qiye not far away. When did he Doflamingo get this insult? A wave of anger welled up in his heart. He was black and white, he had a cooperative relationship with Kaido, and he also placed an undercover agent in Marine, at least 8 towns were destroyed by him. But at this time, a 10-year-old boy actually forced it into such a situation. He hated, how could he provoke such a monster? Doflamingo looks like it's over, said Aokiji, who had been watching the game for a long time. Advertisement. Crane responded from the side. I didn't expect this Luo Qiye to have this ability after destroying 2 islands and fighting 2 4 Emperor's pirates. Luo Qiye smiled slightly, and after avoiding all 16 holy bullets, he said, I heard that your conquerors is very strong. There was arrogance and unruly in the tone, but Doflamingo was still staring at him fiercely. How about this, the 2 of us, let's have a pure chi competition. Luo Qiye said this because he also wanted to see what would happen when his top conqueror's haki played against the previous conqueror's haki that he thought was also top. My conqueror's haki didn't seem to do much damage to you just now. Luo Ranye asked the other party not to answer, and continued, I wanted to give you time to think about it, but I will take your silence as an acquiescence. That's great, I respect your courage, Doflamingo. At this time, Doflamingo had no time to think about it, so he could only do his best to upgrade haki to ultimate. Here we come, Aokiji said, the confrontation of the top conquerors. Unexpectedly, Doflamingo has this ability. Following Aokiji's words, Luo Qiye also widened his eyes, and conquerors, which is more magnificent than Doflamingo, broke through the sky. Boom. The surrounding buildings are shattered in the confrontation between the 2 enthroned powerful haki. Doflamingo gritted his teeth, and when he saw the surrounding buildings crumbling, he felt an inexplicable feeling in his heart. Is this my haki? He asked himself. Obviously, no. At this time Luo Qiye knew in his heart that the conqueror's haki who had just stunned the Don Quixote family had only used 10% of his ability. CEBC, and now against Doflamingo, it is only using 15%, but now Doflamingo obviously can't support it. Forget it, Luo Qiye said in a tone. After all, I think highly of you. Saying so he increases the power of conqueror's haki to ultimate. Exclamation mark. With a loud noise, Doflamingo restrained his whole body haki. Obviously, he lost in this haki confrontation. Not reconciled. Why would I lose to this 10-year-old? Advertisement. Doflamingo gritted his teeth. His body was already falling down uncontrollably, but his spirit did not collapse, and he was even very conscious. How could I lose? Lost to conqueror's haki. How could I be stunned by conqueror's haki? His thoughts are complicated, but he still insists on standing upright. At this moment, he is using his willpower to control himself. I won't lose, he yelled, completely ignoring the blood-oozing body from Luo Qiye haki's impact. Birdcage. He shouted 2 words with the last of his strength. This is his Doflamingo's last move. Even if he can't kill you, he will trap you on this island. Let you live forever, and you can't escape the cage created by me Doflamingo. Finally, Doflamingo's will could no longer control his body, and he still fell down. But the battle did not end because of Doflamingo's fall. At the moment he fell, countless huge white lines rose from the ground, soared into the sky, and gathered in the sky, like a huge birdcage, covering the place where they were. Island 43 is tightly trapped. Oh, Luo Qiye raised his eyebrows. Obviously, Doflamingo's last birdcage move was unexpected, or what Luo Qiye didn't expect was that Doflamingo still had the energy to use such a move. At this time, everyone on Island 43 looked at each other in blank dismay. The battle between Doflamingo and Luo Qiye forced them to hide far away to avoid being accidentally injured by Luo Qiye's haki. However, many people were accidentally injured by the two conquerors' haki. And the rest of the people, except Marine Admiral Aokiji, Crane, were shocked by the sudden appearance of a huge birdcage. What's this? Is this Luo Qiye's trick again? Does he still want to destroy the island? He's crazy, he wants to die with us. In birdcage, countless people were chattering. And Luo Qiye in the distance looked at the huge birdcage that appeared out of thin air in front of him, and just smiled slightly. I don't understand, he said softly, why are there always mortals who like to use their meager power to challenge the glory of the gods? 159. There are tens of thousands of strong people in the world, but you must lower your eyebrows when you see me. 5/5. Ask for full order. Advertisement. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have successfully pretended to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 55,555 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Let us out. Some people started to get nervous because of the appearance of birdcage. This is not Luo Qiye's ability. This seems to be the ability of the thread fruit. Could it be that Luo Qiye didn't do it? That Doflamingo guy. Just as everyone was discussing, the huge birdcage made of silk threads began to vibrate, and the sound was deafening. There were countless silk threads protruding from the ground, and the dense network cables cut off the connection between the inside and outside of the birdcage. Then, amid the stunned expressions of everyone, they began to shrink tightly. It seemed that they wanted to strangle all the living creatures in this birdcage. Run! Someone in the crowd shouted. Everyone was surprisingly quiet and ran towards the center of birdcage. Don't run away. Fujitora laughed and shouted in the crowd. Even if you run to the end, you will die in the end. His words were like thunder on the ground, exploding in the hearts of everyone. Yes, shouldn't run away. Hurry up and find a way to prevent birdcage from closing. Fujitora smiled and was surprisingly calm at this moment. The closed eyes let him feel that although birdcage is not moving fast, if all the members run to the center, the final result must be annihilation of the entire army. After that, he faced the oncoming birdcage, and accumulated the surrounding gravity on the knife. Gravity knife tiger. He swung at birdcage. Ding. The sound of metal hitting. The pressure of the gravity knife tiger collided with the wall of the birdcage, but the birdcage was unscathed and continued to move towards the inside. Fujitora smiled slightly shocked. This birdcage is so hard. The same as Fujitora's smile side as Aokiji and Suru's side. At this moment, Crane finally wasn't calm. This Doflamingo actually wants to die with us. Aokiji took over the topic and said, I can't think of him doing this. But. Advertisement. Aokiji paused, and threw out the marine justice who was scolded on him. Look at mine, Aokiji said confidently. Ice Age. As Aokiji's voice fell, the huge ice cube rushed towards the birdcage like a sea wave. However, to Aokiji's shock, the moment the glacier touched the birdcage, it shattered like being cut by a sharp weapon. The development of this matter is obviously beyond Aokiji's idea. He didn't expect that Doflamingo could use such a move in the end. He could only use his own fruit ability constantly, trying to slow down the birdcage's gathering speed. At this time, Luo Qiye, who was in the middle of the birdcage, was quietly watching the development of the situation, and the panicked expressions of countless people made him feel puzzled, but at the moment when he was wondering. Doflamingo, who should have fainted in front of him, slowly got up. Shi. Doflamingo's laughter came out, and he stood up slowly with his body. He glanced at the birdcages around him. Luo Qiye, right, shi. I admit it. Doflamingo was still weak at this time. I admit that you are strong. Shi. But, Doflamingo's tone gradually became ferocious. The laughter became more harsh. You can't smash this birdcage. Everyone dies, including you. Doflamingo roared almost crazily. It seemed that he wanted to vent all his strength at this moment. Even with his previous humiliation and unwillingness. Luo Qiye just watched Doflamingo's frenzied behavior quietly, without the fear that Doflamingo thought in his heart. Just this birdcage. You deserve to die with me. Luo Qiye's opening made Doflamingo, who was already in a state of madness, stunned for a moment. What did you say? I said, how do you feel that this birdcage can kill you and me together? Luo Qiye said word by word. Or, who gave you the confidence that this birdcage can trap me? Quote. Doflamingo was stunned. Everything now has already exceeded his cognition. He did not believe that this 10-year-old kid could break his birdcage. Because his observation haki sensed the information of Aokiji's shot. What Marine Admiral can't break, you 10-year-old can. Doflamingo thought in his heart, and he was even more convinced that Luo Qiye in front of him was just bluffing. He can't break this birdcage at all. Shi. He sneered and said, I was almost cheated by you. Advertisement. Luo Qiye frowned slightly, and said, I've thought about it for so long, but I still haven't figured it out. What makes you so confident? Ask for flowers. He walked towards Doflamingo slowly, and said while walking, "This birdcage is very broken." Luo Qiye's pace stopped not far from Doflamingo. His eyes became cold. "Just kill you. By you. Ha 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 ha." Doflamingo laughed and looked at Luo Qiye. Then countless silk threads stretched out from behind. It can be said that he was waiting for this moment, waiting for the moment when Luo Qiye took the initiative to approach him, and this blow would determine the outcome. Doflamingo thought to himself. 1,000 arrows piercing the heart and feathers hitting the line. Thousands of tangled armed-colored threads surround Luo Qiye in the shape of flamingo wings. And Luo Qiye just smiled slightly, and said unhurriedly, "There is a faint turbid coat of arms, a surge of unruly and arrogant talent." Hados 90. 0. His right hand was like a mountain, suddenly appeared behind Doflamingo. Accompanied by the word, "black coffin," lightly spit out from Luo Qiye's mouth. A huge black fell from the sky, covering Doflamingo's body. With the arrival of black coffin, the birdcage covering Island 43 also shattered. The black coffin that doesn't chant will defeat you, you are too weak. Your so-called self-confidence is built on the level that I don't want to destroy, why don't you understand? Luo Qiye shook his head. Without looking back, he walked into the distance. Of course, he couldn't see the shattered black coffin, the bloodied Doflamingo, and the shattered birdcage. A master, after taking out the sword, never looks back at the enemy. Aokiji stared blankly at the shattered birdcage, and when the black coffin fell, he knew it was Luo Qiye who shot. His toughness exceeded my expectations. Aokiji said in a daze, "If I fight him, is there any chance of victory?" Aokiji turned his head to look at the crane. The other party did not answer. "That's it. Luo Qiye. He saved us." The crowd burst into cheers. Not far away, Luo Qiye was slowly walking towards them. One of the 7 warlords of the sea, Doflamingo Don Quixote, lost to Luo Qiye. And Luo Ranye in front of the crowd also said softly, "Remember. There are tens of thousands of strong people in the world, but even Luo Qiye must lower his eyebrows when he sees me." 160. Now, can someone stop Luo Qiye in his footsteps? 1/5 full order. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Receive the pretense point 22,222. At this moment, Luo Qiye is like a savior, looking down on all the pirates with the attitude of ruling the world. To be honest, at this time, his physical abilities have reached their limits. After all, he has been fighting for so long, it is impossible to say that he is not tired. Countless pirates behind him looked at him as if they were a savior, and he didn't intend to give up this opportunity to win people's hearts. But when Luo Qiye was about to speak, countless marines rushed out, led by Aokiji Admiral and Crane Vice Admiral, and surrounded the pirates. Before Luo Qiye could speak, Fujitora, who was in the crowd, smiled and spoke first. "Is this what marine is capable of? When fighting against the strong, just wait and see what happens. Wait until the battle is over and take advantage of others." Under Fujitora's smiling words, all the pirates took up their weapons. 430. "We are not in the same camp," Aokiji said. "We are just for justice." "Justice," Fujitora said coldly with a smile. "Is justice misunderstood by others also called justice?" Aokiji didn't speak. The war between pirates and marines seems to be on the verge of breaking out. Even the air can smell a strong smell of gunpowder. "Hey," Luo Qiye, who hadn't spoken all this time, said coldly, "I said, do you really know my strength?" Neither Aokiji nor Suru said a word. He knew that Luo Qiye's strength had exceeded her expectation by far. If Luo Qiye really wanted to be an enemy of marine, even if Crane tried his best, he would kill Luo Qiye here, but it is a fact that Luo Qiye saved the entire island. If Luo Qiye is eliminated at this time, it will be influence the public opinion of marine. Just as he was thinking, Luo Qiye spoke first. "I'll give you 10 seconds to think about whether to make way, or I'll kill you all." After all, countless whirlwinds condensed on Luo Qiye's right hand, and a crystal-clear lotus flower appeared on Luo Qiye's hand. He still has energy. At this moment, not only Crane, but even Aokiji was stunned. Why can he still use that lotus flower? Is he a monster? Advertisement. It's a monster, Aokiji affirmed in his heart at this moment. Otherwise, how could he be so powerful? Didn't he use his full strength before? He was also shocked at this time. She thought she had seen countless powerful people. She has also seen the emergence and end of countless strong men, from Rocks, to Roger, to the current era of great voyages. She once felt that she had experienced too many things, and this sea would not have the slightest fluctuation on her, but what she never expected was the appearance of Luo Qiye, a 10-year-old boy who broke her years of fantasies. Let me think about it. At this time, his mind was very confused. On the one hand, she didn't want to let such a powerful combat force out of Marine's control, lose an admiral. "I regret it," Luo Qiye said in a deep voice. He exhausted all the power in his body and just condensed another Buddha's anger fire lotus. Right now, he has no spare power to control it. He originally wanted to hold on for 10 minutes, but right now, he feels he is holding on for 30 seconds at most. After 5 seconds, tell me the answer, he said while holding up the lotus in his right hand. 5. Luo Qiye's voice was cold, and Aokiji beside him was also ready to fight. 4. The countdown sounded continuously, and cold sweat appeared on his face. She was staring nervously at Luo Qiye's expression at this time, making sure that he was not joking. 3. 2. Withdraw. He blurted out without thinking too much. After weighing the pros and cons of various aspects, she decided to let Luo Qiye go. After all, Marine's reputation is more important than anything else. Many Marines have accepted the order to take away the weapons in their hands. Victory! Victory! Countless pirates began to cheer. Their hearts were already in their throats just now, but they did not expect to survive in the end. Fujitora walked to Luo Qiye with a smile. Did you find by 5 and sugar? Luo Qiye said. Fujitora nodded with a smile. Advertisement. Let Momoshiki and Stussy take them away, we still have our work to do. Luo Qiye said. He tried his best to stabilize his figure, and he couldn't let them see his weakness before Marine retreated. After that, he turned and left. There is a beautiful view on their boat. Stussy, Momoshiki, by 5, were already on the boat waiting for Luo Qiye's return. When they saw Luo Qiye's return, the eyes of the beauties were extremely complicated, but the concern in their eyebrows made Luo Qiye, who had just experienced a fierce battle, slightly smile. Let's go. Luo Qiye said, bigger things are about to happen. At this time, Luo Qiye didn't know that what they did in the Sabayati archipelago had made people from all walks of life have a very strong interest in him, although his existence itself had already made everyone very interested. Let's go. Luo Qiye stood at the bow, looking at the sun and said slowly. But Fujitora behind him smiled. Stussy, Momoshiki, by 5, Granos, and Edward Wilbur all looked at him. The nuclear ping fan team is getting stronger and stronger. However, at this time, in the largest prison of the world government, the deepest part of him fell down. The man's hands are tied behind his back with a sea stone. No one could see his expression clearly, because his eyes were being tied up with black cloth at the moment. This man is Fire Fist, Ace. At this moment, he has already made up his mind to die, but he doesn't know that a conspiracy centered on him is quietly brewing. In Naval Headquarters, Marine Marshal Sengoku received the details of what Luo Qiye did in the Sabayati archipelago through a phone bug. So, it's impossible for him to join the Marine. Yes, said Aokiji from the phone bug, it feels like he has a very strong hostility towards Marine. Even the title of 7 Warlords of the Sea is not willing to accept it. Sengoku didn't answer the call, but hung up the phone on 3.4, and paced back and forth in the room. He looked at the word, justice, hanging in the room, and couldn't help but fell into deep thought. Now, can anyone stop Luo Qiye's footsteps? In the World Economic News Agency, Morgans is rapidly counting all the information from the Sabayati archipelago. Hurry up and print, hurry up, he urged the people around him and said, no accidents. This is definitely big news that can shock the world. He was pacing back and forth with the newspaper in his hand. The excitement on his face is palpable. He didn't expect this Luo Qiye to create another piece of history. Great, great, Morgan said excitedly. Tell them, I want this newspaper, and it will appear in everyone's hands tomorrow. Yes.